pass comes up to Connor McDavid on the near wing. Circles back to his line and skates ahead. Wheels it to the near side. Cuts it over to the far wing to Draisaitl. Back to McDavid. He hit the post with it. And now the Blues break the center. Thomas and Parayko. Parayko's at the end. Thomas cuts it off. Parayko's going to shoot it in. And they're going to give up possession back to the Oilers. But Connor McDavid with a wide open net. He was defended on, I believe, by Buchnevich, and he hit the post with it. Oilers are in. McDavid dangles down low. Far wing. They score. Connor McDavid magic strikes again. He gets it over to Connor Brown. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to win in overtime by a score of 3-2.
Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. 204, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. You know how to get a hold of us. Air Comfort Service tax line, 314-399-9646. We've got the Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop feature as well on the 101 ESPN app, sponsored by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. So anything we're talking about today, Blues, Cards, Super Bowl, anything, great. Leave us a message. Text us. Shout out to the Snake Pit via the Air Alliance team studio cams on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys as always. So as you heard from Chris Kerber on the call last night, right here on 101 ESPN, the Blues fall in overtime to the Oilers. That's a tough one. That's a tough loss, especially with the way Binnington was playing early on and really throughout the course of the game. You get up, you don't get up. You tie and then you get up because you were trailing 1-0. It was an onslaught early on in the first period, but Binnington kept you in it. So you fall behind, you tie it, you go up with the Colton Parayko goal, which was a sweet feed from Robert Thomas. They tie it when they pull the goalie, and then you just heard the overtime game winner. I mean, you had it right there. And
Did you?
I don't know how you guys felt, but when Colton Parayko scored, I'm like,
well,
you had it and then you missed it
with the
Robert Thomas.
Yeah, with the open net.
That probably seals the deal.
It would.
You're up 3-1,
especially with the way
at that
Binnington
point.
was playing.
Yeah,
you're up 3-1 at that point. Put him in position to try to score 2 goals late.
That's with Binnington. The way you just said that, Jamie, with the way Binnington was playing when they went up 2-1, I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I felt good.
So let's rewind it just for a second. Did you guys watch the first period?
Rewind. Oh, it was rough.
Rough? Rough? I'll take rough.
It was an onslaught.
I thought Edmonton had 7 players on the ice.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, man, this is not good. When you don't have that many shots on goal, it's hard to score, and it's probably hard to win.
It's hard to not keep the other team off the scoreboard, too.
The Oilers just kept getting shots. This is not a good formula for success.
Not a great recipe. I don't want to taste these cookies.
Leon Draisaitl, I believe, had 8 shots last night.
So, guys,
in the first,
I think he had like 4
or 5.
He had 4 in the first period.
He had 8 in the first.
I hit my bet the board pick in the first period.
Oh man! Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
Marsh. I think you have a lead now, right?
I hit mine too.
Congratulations, guys. You are tied.
Same player.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, go us, right?
Yeah, you filthy animals. Nice job,
Guys. What do you think the shots on goal were in the first period? If you don't know,
it was like at one point I think it was like 13-2 or 13-3. Am I right?
13-3.
Yeah, I was
Do you know how hard it is to only get 3 shots on?
I was like, they just keep.
Hang on. No, let's go one step further. Second period, much better, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Blues are turning around in the second period. What do you think the shots on goal were second period?
Oilers 11, Blues 6.
Oilers 15, Blues 13.
Ah, okay. Good.
All right.
Are you talking about total, or are you talking about
that's
per
just
period?
that period.
Just that
Gotcha.
period.
That's a lot
So
of
now,
shots.
third period, everybody thought third period, the Blues had it. I mean, Blues, that's the best period of hockey. I heard somebody today on the airwaves, won't mention who, in the show right before us, said, best period of hockey they've played all year, maybe, in that third period. Can we guess what the shots on goal were?
Third period, Oilers 14, Blues 10.
Oilers 10, Blues 5. So the best period of hockey,
Got outshot.
air quotes, that you've had, you got outshot 2-1 in that period. Now, things did look better. My point is that if you don't have Jordan Binnington in this game, 1, the game's over in the first period.
100%.
2, the game's over in the second period. 3, the game's over in the third period, and you don't have a chance to get 1 point and go to overtime.
I think it's just, like, if you would have told me heading into last night's game, hey, by the way, the Blues are going to get a point against this Oilers team after what we've been watching, I'd be like, man, sign me up for that.
Sold.
Give me a point. I'll take a point.
Yeah.
Now, I think I'm a little frustrated based on how the game went. And it's weird because the first period, you're like, oh, my goodness. I have no idea how it's 0-0 after 20 minutes of play.
It's unreal.
It's unbelievable. And then they get a lead, and then Robert Thomas misses the wide empty, the wide open net. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, the Blues should have won this game. But then at the end, I'm like, man, McDavid is so good, man. Like, I don't know how you stop that, and the Blues got a point.
So, Marshy, you put a question in our group chat last night regarding Colton Parayko.
Yeah, but before you go, because that was really good. He also texted something that I thought we should probably bring to the airwaves because I thought it was very polite of him.
Which part?
The ultimate crap sandwich.
Oh, he did give you. Yeah, that was funny.
I must have missed it.
Let me go to the fast lane, our little fast lane group chat here. And scroll up a little bit. Andrew Marsh. Robert Thomas had such a wide open net that I think Anthony scores 10 out of 10 times.
Why? He believes in you.
He does have faith in you.
Yeah, we're
Feels
part
like
of
it.
the same camp, Anthony.
What's your problem? He said that you would score it 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, but it's this part here. It's such a wide open net that I think Anthony scores 10 out of 10 times.
I still hear
Sounds positive to me.
Oh, okay. You know what, guys? That's
would you
on
rather me
That's
said
my
Carey
fault.
scores 10 out of 10 times or
I would
Jamie
be like,
scores out of 10,
yeah,
10
I
out
would
of
be
10
like, thank
times?
you.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that.
So then you'd rather him say that even Anthony wouldn't have scored that. Is that better?
I think
That
that's
seems
worse.
negative. That seems
I think
negative.
that's worse.
Well, let's just go to the source. How'd you mean it, Marsh?
How'd I what?
How did you mean it?
I meant that like I thought you could have put that in the back of the net
There you
10
go.
out of 10 times.
You're such a good player.
Yeah.
You're so
must have
good.
misread it. It's the old text thing. You know, sometimes you read it wrong.
Yeah.
How he wrote it and how you
And
read
how
it,
yeah.
it's way different.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
read
like,
it.
he had
went
so much time to shoot it, and he shoots the puck pretty quickly.
Sure.
And maybe you don't shoot it as quickly. I'm saying he had that much time.
And it was a wide open
and
net.
it was wide open.
Yeah, right.
And I think you
Yeah.
could have put that puck in 10 out of 10 times.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And with the speed of the shot, like how much time he had.
That's my fault. I
A lot
read
of math
it,
going in.
You know, went through the head, went through all
You
through all
always
my
drag it negative.
went through all my
I
childhood,
don't
and
want
then it
that.
came out this way.
I don't want
it's
that
not
for
negative.
you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, from now on, I want you to read every text like happy.
Positively.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll try that. New exercise.
All right.
Anyways, Marsh also had a great question to you about what happened with Colton Parayko
Yeah.
on that. I don't know what you're doing.
What?
But it should
No, we're
be
fine. No, we're fine.
good. Let's see here. I got a text from Jamie Rivers.
Never positive,
Yeah.
Anthony.
Fast lay it off, Anthony. Yeah.
See?
That's good.
That's
It feels
better.
good. Yeah.
It's an exercise right there.
Yeah. Although you didn't say fast lane off. You used the other one.
But you read it positive.
I did, yeah,
See?
I did.
And you're in a
Okay.
better mood for it. Look
I
at you.
feel great. I really do. I feel great. Anyways, Marshall also was talking about the Colton Parayko line change that went awry.
A few people already are asking about it. And go back and watch the game. Because if you isolate the one play of just bumping the puck back in to the zone, you're like, I don't know why he did that. Even though, before I even go further, even though putting the puck down into the offensive zone and getting a line change shouldn't cost you the game. It shouldn't, because you had 3 guys above the puck, which meant you had 3 guys between the puck and your net. If 3 guys can't defend the play, then you didn't deserve to win anyways.
Sure.
That's isolating the, well, why do you give the puck away? Okay, so let's rewind it back. Connor McDavid hits the post. Then, even further, let's go back. They're coming up the ice. Connor McDavid, full speed, straight at Colton Parayko. Skates to the other side of the ice to try and go around whoever the other guy is because he doesn't want any part of Colton Parayko. We've talked about this. 2 years ago, I asked Connor McDavid, somebody he didn't like to play against in the NHL. And this was 2 years ago when Colton Parayko had the bad back and everybody wanted to get rid of him. Connor McDavid said, I don't like playing against that guy. Because, in fact, if I have an opportunity, I'm going to go where he isn't. And ever since then, I watch him play. And almost every time he comes down the ice, he goes from Parayko's side over to the other side and attacks the other person. Poor bugger. Nick Leddy, Cam Fowler, poor guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? So right away, Connor McDavid does not like to play against Colton Parayko. On that play, Parayko makes a nice play up the ice. He's exhausted. He's going to the bench. Robert Thomas probably needs to realize that at that moment. Instead, turns the puck over, and it hits Parayko, who's, by the way, standing at the bench, looking into the bench, waiting for his guy. So bad line change, too, not by Parayko. The guy on the bench wasn't ready to go. So Parayko's standing there. Now the guy's hopping over. It could be a too many men. So Parayko's like, oh, crap, get rid of the puck, put it down low, put it to a safe spot. Now we get the line change, everything's fine. Well, it wasn't fine, obviously, because then McDavid said, oh, I'm supposed to change too because I'm exhausted. But wait, 55 just got off the ice. I'm going to stay out here because now I get to play. And he went down, came back, got the puck, danced Holloway, unfortunately, made a sick pass over to Connor Brown, hit back of the net. So all of that was very purposeful by Connor McDavid.
Sure.
Avoiding Parayko on the rush and then staying out past his line change because Parayko changed. And Parayko was stunned by the puck hitting him near the bench when he was trying to get a line change. So what he did was try to play it safe into the offensive zone. And I understand your thought, like, shouldn't he have just played it back to Binnington? Maybe, but you have to remember now, Oiler players were between Binnington and the puck. So now if Parayko takes the puck and tries to put it all the way back to Binnington and it gets intercepted or it goes into the area where Binnington can't get to it. Now what are we saying about that play?
Well, and he's a right-handed shot too, so it'd be tough because he would then have to throw it on his backhand, and who knows what could happen on that. And my point was, I wonder if he's a left-handed shot, if it's easier for him to corral that on his backhand and then just on his forehand just dump it back down in our end to keep possession of the puck. Because I'm not going to lie, anytime the Oilers had the puck in overtime and when they started with the puck, I was thinking, I don't think the Blues will touch the puck the entire overtime because that's how good they are.
Yeah.
So, like, when you just give them the puck away, there's like a level of frustration. We're like, oh man, like, why are you doing that?
But now
I understand why he did it. He was in a terrible position.
His defense guy was coming on the ice. The puck was not supposed to come back to him. It comes back to him. He's trying to just not get a penalty at that point.
Well, we always talk about little details too, and I believe it was either last week or the week before, line changes. Something as simple as a line change ultimately cost you the game, in a sense.
Well, it's the details. It's the little things. And when you don't have, and we're going to get into this conversation later, but when you don't have Leon Draisaitl or Connor McDavid, you better be tightened up in everything.
Those guys are pretty good, Anthony.
I was watching last night's game, Jamie, and I thought the same thing.
I had questions.
Right, going into that game.
Their body of work, full of question marks.
Absolutely, no resume to speak of.
Not much, a little bit, Now, I feel like those guys are pretty good.
I wrote that down. Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page.
I think it's funny that Connor McDavid, he's so good, they just call him by one name. And it's not even McDavid, they just call him Connor.
Sure.
But it's
like
funny.
Madonna.
I call him Mick Jesus.
Or SZA.
Yeah, but those are like kind of like fun names.
I taught him that.
That's not even a word.
It's just Connor.
That's a name. SZA.
That's not really, though.
I taught him that.
Aren't you proud?
Yeah, I am.
The whitest guy in the room now saying that stuff.
You heard him say SZA. Like, yeah.
Who is Scissor?
I didn't say scissor. I said SCA. That's how it's spelled.
SZA. Good job. Look at the Orange Reading Group. Just plowing through this.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Moving on. We will circle back to the Blues at some point, but Nolan Arenado. Is a Nolan Arenado trade to the Red Sox inevitable based on a recent tweet by Buster Olney? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN. The Arch Madness Tournament, the Missouri Valley Tournament, is coming to Enterprise Center March 2nd through the 5th, and this is always one of the most fun sporting events of the year that's held in St. Louis. And you, if you want to take the family to a game, you can take advantage of the Family Fun Pack. It's available for purchase at the Enterprise Center box office right downtown in St. Louis from January 17th through March 5th. So it's open right now. You can take the coupon. You can get it right there at Enterprise Center. But what it includes, that Family Fun Pack to the Arch Madness Tournament, includes 4 single-session tickets for one session to the 2025, the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. You get the 4 large sodas, you get the 4 regular popcorn, so you could take advantage of the family pack at the Arch Madness Tournament. It's going to be fantastic, and it's a wide open conference, right? Now Drake looks great. Bradley has had a good year, but if you want to go see maybe your Missouri State Bears or your Illinois State Redbirds fan, great. You can go down in the Arch Madness Tournament at Enterprise Center, and it's going to be a lot of fun. That Family Fun Pack is a great way to spend. It's only $105, and you get the tickets, you get the popcorn, you get the sodas, and the family has a great time at Arch Madness. Check it out. With Andrew March, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Buster Olney of ESPN tweeted out yesterday. You all right, Jamie? You good? Actually, it was earlier today. Fix that mic, Jamie.
Buddy, I don't even know what's going on.
Okay. Well, if you hear that, it's Jamie.
It's my shoulders.
At least you have him. Gumby's listening. He's not happy.
Gumby's pissed.
He's pissed. Buster Olney tweeted out earlier today, given that Nolan Arenado vetoed the potential deal to the Astros, what some of his friends say is important. They think he will really like the idea of going to the Red Sox if Boston and the Cardinals work out terms. Arenado's current mindset, quote, highly, highly motivated. So Arenado, based on this tweet, is unlikely, if you read between the lines, unlikely to veto the trade like he did to Houston. Is it inevitable in your guys' mind that the Red Sox and the Cardinals will work something out?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason being is, I'll just equate it to other things, is when you're a player aging and you start contemplating kind of talking about retirement, it's because you're ready to retire. Because otherwise, there's like, I'd rather die than end, like this whole run.
Yeah.
And it's different. It's like if we do relationships, if people break up, get back together, break up. Every time they get to break up, it gets easier and easier and easier. So now every trade proposal that comes across the desk of Arenado and his representatives, it's easier to say yes. Because now you fully know the Cardinals want to break up with you.
Yeah.
Like there was a chance before, like when you said no about the Astros and you're going to stick it out with the Cardinals, like maybe they'll change their mind. Maybe they'll see how good of a catch I am. Nope. John Mozeliak said, priority 1, 2, and 3 is trading Nolan Arenado. So now that...
Here's your CDs back. See ya.
Pretty much, yeah. And anything else at my house, I'll mail it to you.
Right.
So now if I'm Nolan Arenado, one, it's the Boston Red Sox. Another historic franchise. Nolan Arenado seems to be that baseball junkie who, that's why he wanted to be a Cardinal so bad, because of the rich history that there once was here. And,
Wow.
well, no, Jim Edmonds said, not me.
Wow.
Am I misquoting him?
No.
Sorry, he said the culture's bad and it's changed.
Kind of said it used to be.
So it used to be better.
Yeah, not how it used to be.
That's not how it used to be.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't think he's wrong.
We'll call that paraphrasing, Carey. Okay. But anyways, so Nolan Arenado thinks that, he wanted to be a Cardinal. The Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, like there's some historic franchises. And I think that he looks at that and goes, okay. He also looks at a pretty short porch in left field. Even though it's the green monster, you can get him out of there in a hurry. And I bet he looks at that and going, you know what? I might be able to redeem myself playing for Boston.
Sure.
And I'll be wanted. Because what every athlete wants is to be wanted. For real. If you're playing for a team, you're playing for the Steelers, and they're not playing you. But all of a sudden, let's say the Buccaneers say, we want Carey Davis as our starting fullback. We can't do anything without Carey Davis. You're going to be, hell yeah.
Go where you want it.
That's right. So Nolan Arenado now, wanted by the Red Sox. Great field for him to hit in. All of these things. Plus the Cardinals don't want him anymore. I say it's inevitable that this happens.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's again, we have to be careful. We don't know who his friends are that are Nolan Arenado's. We don't know what friends actually said they think that this is going to happen. We haven't heard it from him. So
did he say friends?
Yeah.
Buster Olney said,
according to...
I'll read it again. Given that Nolan Arenado vetoed the potential deal to the Astros, what some of his friends say is important. They think he would really like the idea of going to the Red Sox if Boston and the Cardinals work out terms.
Now,
Arenado's current mindset, quote, highly, highly motivated.
What friends are these?
John Mozeliak and Michael Gould.
Well, let's be honest. He's not going to come out and say, I want to go to the Red Sox. He's probably using his camp to push this type of stuff
Clear
out.
camp?
Not the clear camp.
That's different.
Different camp. But, is a player actually going to come out and say, yeah, I want to be a Red Sox? I mean, they could. We've seen it in, the NBA players probably do.
Yeah, they say whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Right. And end up where they want.
Yeah. It's more typical that you get a Miles Garrett. I don't want to be a Brown anymore, as opposed to I want to be a Falcon.
Who would?
I don't blame him for saying that. He has been incredible for an awful team.
Yeah.
He needs to get out of there.
Yeah, no doubt.
But he needs to be a Lion.
That'd be scary.
That would be. I don't know what... I mean, until he says it himself, I don't know. We've seen him veto a trade. We've seen him decide not to go to Houston. So until I actually hear it from him, or until the trade actually goes through, which means he did not stop it or block it, I have no clue. I think that sounds like something he would want to do, but I said this when he when he blocked the trade to Houston, he seems to be like my kind of guy. Very spiteful. Anthony, you know about it. Like, we enjoy it. No, I mean, because I do spiteful things and you do them back to me.
You guys are horrible.
And we are. You are as well.
We had this conversation.
Yeah. We're not good guys.
Bash.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the direction that he wants to go. Until I see it happening, I mean, I would assume he's going to be a Cardinal until further notice. Mm-hmm. And if it happens, if it goes through, cool. But what if, I think a lot of this was based on Alex Bregman not signing or not deciding where he wanted to go. What if he decides tomorrow, you know what, I want to be a Red Sox? Does that shift everything for Nolan Arenado? Because he seems to be the second piece to fall behind that first piece. So until it's actually done, I have no clue. And I would just assume that, opening day, Nolan Arenado is going to be your starting third baseman, and the Cardinals are going to be mad about it.
Oh, you bite your tongue.
They're going to be mad.
To me, this all comes down.
Hell no.
I would.
You going to sit him on the bench and pay him? Yeah. I'm going to pay you not to play?
Yeah, because a guy like that, it'll drive him crazy.
Well,
you got to play him. His own worst enemy is himself because he loves to play every single game.
So what do you think? If he's sitting on the bench, he will accept whatever trade?
Yeah. Send me back to Colorado.
I don't care. I just want to play.
I just want to play.
Yeah. This is going to come down to money, just like everything else. How much are the Cardinals willing to absorb at the contract? Because if you're the Red Sox, you're also interested in Alex Bregman, which means you're willing to spend the money, but Alex Bregman and Nolan Arenado are in different
Bregman's looking
camps.
to break the bank, man.
Exactly. So what's the next best thing? You get an older version and a cheaper version. So if the Cardinals, the only thing I could see that can hang up a deal like this is if the Cardinals aren't willing to eat a lot of that contract.
Yeah. What if the Red Sox are like, yeah, well, you all keep 75% of the salary. We'll take. And
then I'd say I need one of your top 5 prospects.
Yeah, no.
That should be the counter.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It may not be a top prospect, but you're going to have to up the ante.
The prospect for me, if I'm the Cardinals front office doing my homework properly, I'm putting a dollar value attached to each and every one of your prospects.
Couldn't agree more.
So if it's 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, you're giving me prospects 1, 2, or 3, or there's no deal. I'll eat the money, but you're going to give me a young prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Who is in the best position? Because we had this same scenario. You and I were talking about Aaron Rodgers, and you said, the Packers are in the best scenario. The Jets are. And I said, no, Aaron Rodgers is. Because Aaron Rodgers is going to be paid regardless wherever he went. Like, the Packers weren't going to keep him because they had Jordan Love. They needed to see what he was capable of doing. Mm-hmm. The Jets, didn't necessarily need him. They didn't have him that following year because he got hurt. The person that was in the best shape was Aaron Rodgers. I feel like Nolan Arenado was in the best shape as well. The Cardinals cannot dictate to a team, well, if we're keeping this, you need to give us this.
No, but
he doesn't want to be there, and you don't want him there.
But I'm
not giving you anything.
It doesn't matter. You have to mitigate the damage.
I understand what you're saying.
You have to mitigate the damage.
But you don't have any leverage, St. Louis.
But you do. You have the player.
But you don't.
But you do.
Because you
don't have to trade him.
You don't. Keep him.
That's right.
And pay him.
I will.
Cool.
If I'm doing that, I might as well play him.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have to go above and beyond for you, St. Louis Cardinals, because you have made it clear.
Then
you
fine.
Just said it. Priority
then
1, 2, and
Bregman
3.
$300 million.
We didn't have him. We don't need him either.
Well,
we can't get him.
You've stated publicly that you need a third baseman.
If we can't, and you're not willing to pay, I don't have to do anything.
No,
you have
Carey,
already told me.
I'm not saying that, but the Cardinals' responsibility is to equate
correct.
that.
It's their responsibility.
If the Red Sox say we don't have to do crap, then fine. I'll gut it out. I'm paying this guy anyways. Why would I pay him to play for you? I might as well put him at third base.
Then do that. And that's what I'm saying. The Boston Red Sox are also in the same position.
You could have
You've already let me know.
For $35 million of the 70-something that's left. But
make it 15.
No. You go pay Bregman. Good luck. Have fun this year.
I don't have to pay him either.
Nope.
I can pay for. I don't know what Nolan Arenado is. Do you? Do you know what he's going to be next year?
Well, I know what he is.
You know
Look
what
at the
he
back
was.
of his baseball card.
Oh God.
What? He's had one hiccup of a season where he lost some power. That's it.
Yeah, does power come back once you get older?
Defense was fine.
Does power come back when you get older?
Well, we'll find out. Nelson Cruz seemed to think so. He had a pretty nice bounce back.
Yeah.
One guy out of how many people that have played the game?
You didn't ask for more than one.
Nah, I didn't ask. I said I just asked you, does it ever come back? You said yes.
It will. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know you believe it.
I do.
All right. Keep him here then, Jamie.
I do.
He'll hit 45
I know some
home
guys
runs.
that can help him.
Are they at mentality?
2 different locations. One in South County. One in South County. One in Chesterfield.
Yeah, maybe he's got low testosterone.
He should tell everybody that Jamie and Anthony sent him in there.
Yeah.
It's a fast line on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh has Zoosh. Hey, Anthony, how's it going? Sometimes you just got to sit in the back seat and let mom and dad fight.
314 says Jamie and Carey are violently agreeing. Like we're agreeing.
I think they had the same stance, just not the same point. What's trending is next on 101 ESPN.
If you're looking to accessorize your vehicle, head over to Pure Performance, your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. And it doesn't matter if you drive a pickup truck like myself, a Jeep like my guy Marshy, even one of those fancy Teslas with the big wheels like Carey Davis scooting around town with it. Either way, they've got you covered with the great accessories, whether it's off-road package, the oversized tires, the leveling kit, the lift kit, running boards. It doesn't matter. Pure Performance has absolutely everything you're going to want. And they're located right off of Highway 70 in St. Peter's, 25,000 square foot facility. When you get over there, please ask for Shelby or Caleb. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in, and then let them know what you're trying to do. Let them know what the kind of money you want to spend, and they will maximize your budget. I promise you that. And the technicians are awesome. Once you drop off your vehicle, take a picture of it, because when you pick it up, it is not going to look the same. You are going to be blown away at the amazing work that Pure Performance does with all vehicles. So please head over there, check things out. If not, at least get there online. That website is pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers defeat your St. Louis Blues in overtime last night by a final score of 3-2. The Blues will take on the Florida Panthers tomorrow. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And, of course, you can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Tonight, you can listen to Texas take on Arkansas. Pregame starts at 7:45. Tip-off is at 8. We have What's Trending coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Topics in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, Major League Baseball.com came out with an article. They could soon be household names. Here is the 2025 All Underrated team. There is one St. Louis Cardinal on this list. Would you like to guess who that is before I reveal the underrated team to you?
Do we all get one pick?
I'll give you one guess. I won't say whether or not you get it right. We'll find out at the end.
Who you got?
Mason Wynn.
That's what I was going to go with. Who you got?
You said underrated?
Underrated team.
Well, he's on the underrated
He's
team.
on the underrated team.
One St. Louis Cardinal on the
But he
underrated.
could be a big name.
Yeah, it's got to be Mason
I think
Wynn.
he's a star that's ascending.
We
in
were
my
all
opinion.
supposed to pick one different person.
No, we weren't, Carey.
Yes, we were. That was the rule.
It said pick one guy.
We got all our eggs in the one basket, but I feel good about it.
Go ahead. Jordan Walker for Carey.
Nah.
He's the one that started with Mason Wynn.
No, I did.
He did.
Did you?
Yes.
Hey,
I wasn't
we
listening.
do look alike.
It's very confusing. We get, Marshy, we get it a lot.
Well,
That's
it's
fine.
the beard and,
It's the gray beard.
100%.
Yeah, we're
100%.
both wearing black track pants.
We both have, the same earbuds in.
We do.
Correct.
We do.
Very confusing.
So
Alec Burleson.
you're just trying to butter me up.
It's horrible.
Brendan Donovan.
All right. We have our picks in. Here we go. Let's go through this. Catcher, Shea Langoliers of the
Ace.
Sacramento Athletics. First baseman, Vinny Pasquantino of the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
Second baseman, Gleyber Torres of the Tigers.
Really? Underrated?
Underrated? He's pretty good.
Shortstop, Miguel Rojas of the Dodgers.
Wow.
The Dodgers, of course.
Third baseman, Jake Berger, St. Louis's own.
St. Louis native.
From
Jake
the
Berger.
Texas Rangers. Left field, Taylor Ward with the
Wardo.
Angels.
Yeah.
Center fielder, J.J. Bleday of the Athletics.
Oh, the old
Two
day.
A's.
And in right field,
No. Jordan Walker.
Lars
Are you serious?
He doesn't even play right field, does he?
Lars, he did. Lars Newbar?
Here's what it has to say. Injuries have prevented a true
Oh, my
breakout for the
God.
27-year-old Lars Newbar. In the last 2 seasons, he's hurt himself sliding into bases, running into walls, and even just swinging the bat. That's no fun. But when able to take the field, Newbar has shown excellent plate discipline, leading to a 116 OPS plus over the last 3 seasons. Production basically on par with our left fielder Ward. When you look at Newbar's baseball savant page, you might note that he's in the 82nd percentile or better in whiff percentage, average exit velocity, max exit velocity, hard hit percentage, walk rate, and chase percentage. All these points to a breakout in the making for Newbar if he can stop running into walls.
Oh, great. Now we're encouraging him not to play hard.
Or just play better, safer.
Or at all.
Don't get hurt. That's already been part of the problem. Yeah.
Wow.
We talked about it last week, though.
He is an analytic
His numbers,
darling.
Yeah.
He is.
This is why I don't care about numbers.
But this is why numbers are skewed, okay? They're skewed because he hasn't played as much. So if he had played as much as somebody else, his age, whatever, the numbers might be worse because he won't have the success necessarily.
Right.
So, like, right now, the numbers look good because it's a short amount of time,
Yeah.
But you don't know what the end result will be. I just can't. I can't get behind Lars Nootbaar as a star. I can't until he shows me he's a star. The underlying numbers can't convince me this is a star.
Yeah.
And I know BK loves him too. And this guy and all the numbers that they spew out, and even MLB Network, but he's not a star. So if all the numbers say this guy's a star, but he's really not, what is he? He's not a star.
He's a
statistical star.
He's an
a pepper
analytic
grinder guy.
He's an analytic darling, and he'll continue to be that. And to everybody else, will be a tease.
I hope he's a star, though. Like, I hope he ends up being what these people
Absolutely.
keep saying that he projects to be based on the numbers.
I would love that.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Absolutely. Then you've got your star outfielder if he plays up to potential.
And then you have another Cardinal, too, that wasn't necessarily like a high prospect that everyone's like ooh and on over. Another guy that just came in, did his work, and was a really good baseball player for the Cardinals in their system.
I would say if Lars Nootbaar is able to do it for 1 year, stay healthy, you should probably trade him after that. Because the likelihood of him doing it for multiple years, at this point, like, trade when he's at his highest value, if he's able or capable of having that all-star caliber year, chances of you getting it twice in a row, 3 times, 4 times, 4 or 5 years in a row, probably not very high.
Yeah.
So, does he have the potential? Probably. I haven't seen it because he doesn't play enough, Anthony.
Exactly.
You know?
All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If the Eagles defeat the Chiefs on Sunday, what tier of NFL quarterback does Jalen Hurts belong in? We'll have that conversation next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey for Window Nation, and February is a great time for you to get new windows. Right now with Window Nation, you can save 60% off of all style windows and pay nothing for 2 years, and that's only from Window Nation. This sale ends February 28th, so you want to schedule that in-home consultation right now at 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com. Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. They can be installed in 1 day or less. 96% of those windows require no follow-up service. Just last year alone, they did over 200,000 windows. And I said 96% of those do not require follow-up service. Free consultation right now, 60% off of all those windows, 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com. They are a A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And with the weather conditions changing, weather reports are saying that the temperatures are gonna go up and it's gonna be harder to keep that air in. So make sure that you are getting your new windows from Window Nation. Your home will appreciate it. Your family will appreciate it. 60% off of all window styles, no interest, no payments for 2 years. 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com.
If you doubted he'd get back, this is an amazing trend. Hurts snaps a trend as each of the previous 17 quarterbacks to lose their first Super Bowl appearance failed to make it back a second time. Hurts is the first to do it since Jim Kelly in 1990. No quarterback has won a Super Bowl after losing his first appearance since Bob Greasy. That was in the early 70s.
So Scott Van Pelt talking about what Jalen Hurts faces this Sunday as the Eagles take on the Chiefs. Of course, this will be the second Super Bowl appearance for Jalen Hurts, as SVP just noted. If the Eagles defeat the Chiefs on Sunday, what tier of NFL quarterback does Jalen Hurts belong in? Carey, you have praised Jalen Hurts this season.
Yeah.
You like the Eagles on Sunday.
I do.
If they win, does he move at all tier-wise?
That's a difficult one. They're the tiers, and we've talked about this before. I think tier 1 is Patrick Mahomes, and he's there by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 2 has Lamar Jackson, I think Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and maybe that's it for tier 2. And I might be missing one, but I doubt it. And tier 3, for me, I think Jalen Hurts falls into that tier. Now, I don't know. What's the highest that Josh Allen has finished in an MVP voting? Not including this year because we don't know what this one is.
I don't know.
So Jalen Hurts has finished number 2 in MVP voting. I don't know if Josh Allen has finished that high. He will this year. He'll either be the MVP or the runner-up. But and it's kind of weird that we don't speak about Jalen Hurts in the same manner in which we do a Josh Allen. Like, we are so, enamored with Josh Allen's talent and all of the things he does. But then we say, well, quarterbacks, your job is to make it to Super Bowls and win them. Josh Allen hadn't even been there yet, and this is Jalen Hurts' second opportunity at it. So for me, it's kind of weird to have a player like Josh Allen ahead of a player that's been there twice. And if he wins this one, it's still – but I would probably, if I were taking quarterbacks, all those quarterbacks that I just named, I would probably take before I took Jalen Hurts. So
that's what I was going to ask you.
I think that's how it kind of boils down to the tier that you're in. Would you take Jalen Hurts above Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson? No. So it kind of boils down to that for me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. But you answered the question. I was going to say, okay, so if Jalen Hurts is better than these guys, done more than these guys, then he would be your guy instead of these guys.
Yeah.
But clearly not.
No.
Yeah, I agree, CD. I don't think he moves at all, even if he wins. Even if the Eagles lose, I don't move Jalen Hurts from the tier that he's currently in.
He's a good quarterback.
He's a really good quarterback.
He's not a star. He's not.
He's not somebody that can win. I don't think he wins games on his own like Mahomes does and
he
Allen
almost
does.
did 2 years ago.
He did in the Super Bowl. He was
great
number
in that Super
2
Bowl. Yeah.
in the final in the MVP voting. So he had a great year, and this is the important thing that I think we continue to forget about Jalen Hurts. This is his 3rd or 4th offensive coordinator since he's been into the league. Like, he's had a different coordinator the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He had one the Super Bowl year. He had one last year, and this is the 3rd one in 3 seasons.
He'll probably have another one next year,
He'll probably have another one next year. So when you're asking a quarterback, when there's no continuity there year after year after year, it's hard to get a grasp of the offense over and over and over again. Like, I remember watching videos of Joe Montana when he would go into the meeting rooms in training camp and he have his notebook, and he's been running the same offense from Bill Walsh for years. Nothing changed. But every year he's still taking meticulous notes. Why do you need to do that? You know the offense, but when you don't know the offense, it makes it that much harder to grasp a hold of it and understanding the terminology and how to get guys going. So it's I do think it's more difficult for him based on his offensive coordinators changing year after year, but he's done a fantastic job of leading his team to the Super Bowl for a second time.
Jamie, I think I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
For me, there's always this knock that comes on certain quarterbacks. They're like, oh, they need a good surrounding cast. It's not a knock. If they get a good surrounding cast, you could wind up in the Super Bowl. I think Jalen Hurts falls into that category. Again, no knock. I think Phillip Rivers fell into that category. Jared Goff falls into that category. Matt Ryan used to fall in that category. It's not a knock, but there is only one Patrick Mahomes. I think Jalen Hurts has got a great surrounding cast too. Credit the Eagles. He's got a great defense.
A good offensive line.
A really good offensive line. That team is great. I don't know if Jalen Hurts, the couple of weeks ago in the snow, Eagles-Rams, there was a huge difference to me between Matthew Stafford in the pocket and Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Now, Hurts was great last week or 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship game. He deserves high praise. The numbers this season have been really good. I don't elevate him into that category that CD laid out with Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I think those guys can take over games consistently on their own. I think Jalen Hurts can do that at times, but it's that consistency factor that you're getting out of the. Who is Josh Allen throwing to? Shakir? Dalton Kincaid? He doesn't have a great surrounding cast. He can take over games on his own. Jalen Hurts, I'm not knocking him, but I do think that's needed if the Eagles with Jalen Hurts are going to get to the Super Bowl, and they have.
We have a texter texted in saying that, other than Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts has the most Super Bowl appearances out of any of the active quarterbacks. And I wonder if you can make the argument that he would have zero
if he
Super
played in
Bowl.
the AFC.
Exactly.
If you put Jalen Hurts in the AFC right now, let's put him on the Bengals. Who's got they've got good surrounding cast, not a great offensive line. Defense sucks Ola.
I love when you make up words.
Where do we have it? Where do we have Jalen Hurts?
Make up songs, too.
Probably third in the division, which is pretty much what the Bengals are now.
Right. Put Josh Allen on the Bengals.
Or put those guys in the NFC.
They same?
Yes.
Put those other three guys.
On
put Josh Allen on the Packers.
It's a Super Bowl team.
Is it?
I think so.
In the NFC?
No way.
In the NFC.
Put Josh Allen on the Bucks.
They're beating. I think they're beating Washington that night.
They're a Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have people.
I know they're beating Washington that night.
Maybe. The thing about Jalen Hurts, I think people need to also remember and think about is he just wants to win. Like, he doesn't strike me as a me guy. Mm-hmm. Like, most quarterbacks can be, the ones that are out in front. I mean, this is a man that got replaced in the national championship game by Tua Tagovailoa, and he was one of the first people to congratulate him when they won the national championship.
I always root for Jalen Hurts because of that moment.
He's not, and went to Oklahoma and had a fantastic year. Did he finish second in the Heisman that year?
He graduated at Alabama too, and then went to intangibles are off the charts.
He is a different type of person where to him, it's not about accolades and how can I be at the forefront of us winning a championship. For me, it seems like he's the type of person, I just want to win. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn how we win. I don't care who gets the praise and the accolades and the gratification. How do we win a championship? And so if it's handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley, cool. Now, if you want to play one-on-one with A.J. Brown and I got to go route, good luck.
Sure.
Because I'm going to burn you with that. So, for me, I think this is going to be a tough task for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're an outstanding team. They've been outstanding all season long. I got a text here that said Carey's going against the Chiefs again. Was this 13 or 14 times? Maybe it's 15, buddy. I don't know. I've been going against them. They've been winning by the hair of their chinny chin chin. No,
I can tell you. Hold on. It's let's see here. Chiefs were what?
15-2.
15-2.
Yeah, I went against them probably.
Plus the 2 for 19 times. So this will be the 20th time that you've gone against them.
Really? Mm-hmm. That many, huh?
Yeah.
Nah, they played the Raiders.
I tell you personally because you and I had a pact. I thought we had a pact.
They played the Raiders twice, so I'm sure I picked the Raiders to win only one of those, not two of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, it's been a lot.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of Justin Herbert, so I'm sure I picked the Chiefs to win that series as well.
That's true.
Yeah, so
Carey, I completely agree with what you're saying about Jalen.
And they played the Falcons. I definitely didn't think they would lose to the Falcons.
I don't know why you had to take that shot like that, but okay.
Wow.
That's okay.
They did play the Steelers, and I did pick the Steelers to win that one.
I do agree with you in terms of like who Jalen Hurts is as a person, as a player, and as a leader. Completely agree. If we're going to talk about tiers, though, I think a lot of that stuff, while it is important, if we're measuring, I mean, that to me isn't the measuring stick. That comes in with the intangibles of him being a true leader, great teammate, all that. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Edmonton's last 2 goals last night. If you looked at it, both goals were not 5-on-5. Let's talk about the 5-on-5 play last night overall for the Blues, their defense, and what that says about this defense moving forward. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you're having any car issues whatsoever, you need to reach out to my good friends at All Things Appearance. My guy Jeff, the owner, will get you taken care of. He wants to make sure that whatever your car needs, he'll get it done. Whether it's standard maintenance, whether it's dent repair, collision repair, ceramic coating, detailing, you need it painted. Even if you had hail damage from last year, that can be worked on as well. He will reach out he'll work with your warranty company, work with your insurance company to make sure that you're not being overcharged and you get the best price possible. All you need to do is reach out to him at 636-248-5051 or online at All Things Appearance. As I said, Jeff is the owner. That number that I just gave you is his direct line. You can call him at any time, weekends, past office hours, past business hours. He will answer, he will respond, he will get back to you, and he will get you in and get you out as quickly as possible. They offer pickup and delivery. They can also offer towing when necessary. Again, that number that I gave you, 636-248-5051 or online at allthingsappearance.com. Reach out to him today. Tell him Carey Davis from 101 sent you over. They'll get you taken care of as quickly as possible.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Could the defense and goaltending be enough to make a playoff push? So Nick Leddy's back in the lineup last night. Blues did not allow a 5-on-5 goal last night. I was starting to talk about the last two goals. They didn't allow a 5-on-5 goal period last night. Binnington stopped 35 of 38 shots against McDavid and company. By the way, what was the number? Were we talking about this off air or on air? You talked about the number of saves at Binnington.
No, my son who downloaded the Circus Sports Illinois app, by the way, after listening to Derek Stevens talk to us. Big Hoss says, hey, Dad, there's some prop bets here. Yeah. And I was like, he's like, well, I got Jordan Binnington, 22.5 saves. Over, under. I'm like, over. He's playing the Oilers.
Yeah.
Over.
35.
He almost had that in the first period.
Yeah. And bad.
Yeah.
For, all that. Could the defensive goaltending be enough to get him out of this hole, or does it still fall on the offense? I think we kind of need to stop with the whole playoff thing for now. Not to say that they can't make it, just...
Why?
Let's just talk about
crushing people's
Let's just
hopes?
talk about what they need.
But you're the one who brought up playoffs, and now you don't want to talk about it.
Well, you actually both mentioned championship at one point, and I was amazed. You said this is like the 19 season. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And I was like, really?
Don't remember doing that.
I wrote it down. I got to find it.
There's no way you wrote it down.
I wrote it down. It's in my notebook somewhere.
No chance.
Yep.
Well, you work on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Jamie,
Yeah.
talk to us about this defense and this goaltending. Now that Nick Leddy's back.
Yeah, the defensive core, I mean, it's unreal to see the depth that they have now. McDavid and company were flying around in the first period, but, after that, there weren't a lot of really high-danger opportunities 5-on-5, to your point, the whole segment, to your point. And you look at the minutes of ice time. Nick Leddy's first game back played almost 15.5 minutes, and Ryan Suter 17.5 minutes. But you just don't have a weak link when it comes to the pairings. And I think that helps. And Jordan Binnington playing the way he did last night certainly helps you too. But it's not enough. It's just not enough. You need scoring. You need offense. Like even a couple of years ago when the Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup, they had an amazing defensive core and they got good goaltending. But they still needed Jack Eichel, Jonathan Marchessault, Ivan Barbashev. They still needed guys to score goals. The well has dried up here for the Blues here recently. I don't really know why. Because coming out of the Christmas break, they were for like 20 days straight or maybe a little, they were the highest scoring team in the NHL. And now the well has gone dry.
Yep.
A lot of that has to do with Thomas and Buchnevich. I'm not blaming them, but if they were continuing to play with the pace that they had in late December, early January, we wouldn't be having these discussions. You would have won last night. You probably would have won a couple more games along the way here. You'd be in a better spot for sure. But you haven't been able to score, and you've lost some games by 2-1, 3-1, the 4-0. Like your defense and your goaltender can only do so much. I mean, it's like the dam, right? Like. The more water that keeps going, at some point,
it's going to burst.
It springs a leak,
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at here. And when the Blues were one of the highest scoring, or the highest scoring team in the NHL, they were getting a ton of offense from their blue line. So again, it was a little bit of an illusion because you had a bunch of, your D core is actually the highest scoring defensive core in that period of time. But now they've slowed down a little bit. So now all eyes on me up front. Great song by Tupac.
All eyes on me.
Yeah,
As soon as you said it, yeah, I do.
You were going to jump all over that, Carey.
Good job.
You didn't.
All eyes on
A little
me.
disappointing. What?
Say why? Because I'm black?
Whoa. Whoa. Carey, I don't see color.
Me neither. Anthony doesn't either. That's why he calls me Jamie and you Carey.
Yeah, you just called me Jamie, so it don't work. It worked out perfect.
I feel like you guys all see red at some point.
That is true. Yeah, that's a
we
good
do
call.
see red.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very true. But all eyes on the forwards to try and score some more goals here.
Yeah.
And your power play has not been there for you for an extended period of time. Robert Thomas and Pavel Buchnevich not finding the back of the net like they'd like to. Jake Neighbors not finding the back of the net like he did last year. All of these things combined are a problem. Toropchenko has 1 goal this season. What do you have, 13 last year, I believe. That's an issue.
Right.
You're not getting goal output from different sources. If the Shen, Holloway, Kyrou line isn't going,
Where are you getting your offense?
where you get, like, even last night, Kyrou scores again.
Right. And Pareko.
And Pareko, a
Thank you,
defenseman.
by the way.
And Pareko, a defenseman, scores. So it's, I hate to say that I'm pointing the finger at strictly Thomas and Buchnevich, but you have to, because they've had winger after winger after winger after winger on that line, and now Holloway has been promoted up to the left wing with that line too, because maybe he can get something going there.
Yeah.
Would you consider this team to be a rush team, like guys like
No.
Okay, so
I don't
To be a
consider-
rush team,
right
you
now.
gotta be
Yeah,
faster, don't you? Or
So,
you gotta
okay,
be
better.
more athletic. Okay.
a little bit of everything. I've just noticed like
Well,
on.
I didn't.
No, you answered it. Yeah, answered honestly.
It seems like on odd man breaks, they like go into the zone, but there's not one guy going 1,000,000 miles per hour towards the net. They slow up, and then they let the other team catch up, and then they try and make a pass, and then the back checker gets a stick in the lane, and all of a sudden your chance is gone. It happens way too much. They're too lethargic heading into the offensive zone.
Do you feel like they maybe don't know what they're doing in that moment?
I would like to think that they know what they're doing since they're
But
playing in the NHL.
When you look at it and you watch it, are you like, what is he doing?
Oh, I say that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mixture of what are they doing and this game's over. Like that. It just, those
On repeat.
Yeah, on repeat.
I can hear you say that. Because I've been in the studio enough times when you're watching like your like the games on. Normally it's Cardinals because it's day baseball or whatever. Oh, this game's over. So
Yeah. It's more of like with not what are you doing? It's what are we doing? Because I feel like I'm on the ice with them.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing? You know.
right.
So to isolate what you're asking there, you're right. It's very frustrating. And I can imagine that Jim Montgomery and the coaching staff are very frustrated too when you finally do get an outnumbered situation and you get nothing done with it. That is a sign of, there's two things it's a sign of. One, you maybe don't have the offensive instincts that people think you do, or two, your confidence isn't there. Because I can tell you this, that the best offensive players I ever played with, they wanted to score. They didn't want to pass.
Yeah, right.
They wanted the puck on their stick. And on a 2-on-1, the only time that pass would go across was when the goalie or the defenseman overcommitted to the shot, and now you move the puck over and you get a nice tap-in goal. This whole idea of slowing down and waiting and waiting and waiting. One, you're taking away your speed. So now the velocity of your shot is affected because you're not getting the same momentum with the stride to be able to fire that thing wherever you want to go. Two, you've put all your eggs in one basket. So it's really not that hard to defend it at that point. And three, you might get back checker that comes and interrupts everything as it is.
100%.
So I'd rather have a player go north as fast as he can and rip one. Take your shot. And if the pass is there, move. But don't be thinking pass the whole time. Like, you can see their eyes are like, pass, I'm going to pass, I'm going to pass.
Shoot it low pad.
But even that's a myth now.
Is it?
Yeah, check the
That
numbers on that.
annoys me.
Check the numbers on that. Goalies are smart now. They're redeflecting with the stick. Things have changed.
That's an automatic goal in NHL.
Things have changed
Video
lots.
game.
You used to be able to do the far pad trick. It's still kind of, sort of, sometimes, depending on the situation. But why go far pad? Why not go bar down?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. They miss the net too much.
Yeah, that's...
And then all of a sudden it rolls around to the other side, and it's a breakout for the other team.
Do you know what they call that? Details.
And they matter, Anthony.
They do.
Especially in investigation, man.
Carey,
So
you have a question.
If you are struggling, as you say, offensively, as the Blues are, wouldn't it make more sense? I mean, if 5-on-5 can be tough, right? Wouldn't it make more sense when it's 5-on-4 to score?
Yeah, again, though, you have a bunch of players that, in my opinion, are overthinking or underconfident.
Well, how does that change?
Simplifying. I've said it for 2 years now. Simplify your power play. Move the puck 5-6 feet at a time fast.
Before you do anything, pass it back and forth.
High, low, high, low, high, low. Change the puck. Find out what you're dealing with coverage.
Yeah.
Because when you stay stagnant and you're on the half wall and you're just stick handling, you're waiting, the penalty kill does not have to show you anything. So it'd be like a quarterback when you send a guy in motion, right? Because you want to see what's the coverage. What am I dealing with here?
Are they in man-to-man?
Well, how about you don't ever know and you never send a guy in motion? And you're blindly now trying to find out what coverage is. Same with the penalty kill.
Yeah.
Because each team kills penalties slightly different, and they tweak it game to game depending on their opponent. So if I'm the Blues, I want to move that puck around the perimeter fast, quick, into the bumper, back to me. What are they doing? Who's moving? Who's challenging? Are they blocking the shot? Are they taking the back door? You can gather information in 15 to 20 seconds as to what your possibilities are. Doesn't mean you're going to score. But now you've increased your possibilities, and you've tired out the opponent.
Right.
You don't have to move on the power play at all. I'm a big fan of don't move right away. Move the puck around. Let the puck move. Let them go. And at 15, 20, 25 seconds in, now we start movement.
Mm-hmm.
Now I go from one side to the other. Now I roll up top, switch with the defenseman, get the one-time. Now, because now they're somewhat fatigued, and I know what coverage they're playing now at this point. So now I can find the guy that has the highest percentage to score a goal.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that because the confidence isn't there. So they stick handle the puck, just hoping that something opens up, and it just won't.
Yeah.
Gen X, Jamie for head coach. John, Jamie knows his stuff. Spot on, brother. All right, so we'll start that petition.
We're not doing that.
You don't have to. Carey, Marsh.
We're not going to do that to Monty.
I didn't say the Blues.
That's a good point. I'm not moving, though. That's why I haven't coached anywhere. I don't want to move. And I don't want to move every 3 years either.
Do we have an opening on the Clear Camp?
Yeah, the Clear Camp Cougars are definitely looking for a head coaching gig.
Okay.
How'd you come up with that name, Marshy?
Sometimes you just gotta.
Yeah.
We didn't take a fan vote,
Now I'll back that.
Interesting.
We'll get that going. Now all of a sudden, Jamie's in.
Well, you know what? Maybe we don't want
I'm
you
happy to be the
anymore.
face of that camp, guys.
All right, it's fascinating on 101 ESPN. Could Major League Baseball take a page out of the NBA's playbook? We'll explain next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, our friends over at Mentality, they never cease to amaze me. One, they keep track every week of what's going on. My schedule's crazy. I'm in town, out of town, and they're always trying to maximize my program for me. And so, talking to Angel just the other day, I missed last week. I was sick. I'm not going to drag that over to Mentality.
Right.
Not very nice to do that.
Sure.
So she says, hey, come in on Monday. We'll reevaluate things, get you back in on Friday. We know you're going to Mexico. Like, they're on top of all of it. So not only have they helped me, regain what I would call my manhood, but they are always with me for the ride, and they're always taking care of me the whole time.
Yeah, they keep you on track, right? So they talked about like booster shots or something where they're giving you that, making sure that you're covered for next week if you're on vacation. You got the look, because life happens, right? Speaking of life, though, when it comes to Mentality, the energy, the drive, the focus, all of that is all there. It's amazing to me. I see it in everyday life. When you go into the gym, you really feel it because you know what it's like when you're younger and you're working out all the time and the weight's going up just a little bit and you're getting those gains. All of a sudden, they drop off. You're not into the gym as much. You stop going. Maybe you're like, I'm too busy. I'm tired all the time, whatever. Stop that, because there is a solution. And it doesn't take much but for you to go down to one of the two locations that we go to. I go to South County. Jamie's into the Chesterfield location. Both are great. Same people that work at both locations at Mentality. Talk to the experts down there. Most of it is most times the insurance will cover it, and you'll feel like you're 10, 20 years younger again. It's great. LowTUSA.com as well if you want to check out that information. It's Mentality. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We saw a massive trade last weekend in the NBA when Luka Doncic went from Dallas to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis. And Marsh, you had the thought of, well, look at all the excitement that rushed back to the NBA. The ratings are down, but this is one way that the NBA can spark interest in the league. And you thought about it from Major League Baseball standpoint as well. Are you suggesting Major League Baseball could stand to have more superstars on the move, more star players on the move, or just more activity overall in the offseason?
I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously, you don't want too much movement. Like, I would never want one of my favorite players to all of a sudden just go because the league needs more people to watch the game. Like, I would hate that. And I'm sure there's a lot of Mavericks fans right now that do not like this. And Anthony Davis is a great basketball player, but he's not Luka, right? It's just different. He's the guy that a lot of fans have grown up watching. He's been a Maverick his entire career up until this point. But with the NBA, it seemed like no one's really caring about the NBA. Like, whatever. Boom! Massive trade. Players are being dealt. Now all of a sudden there's more trades going on. It just doesn't seem like, Major League Baseball has had that in the offseason. It's just like no one really cares. Yeah. Like, it's just really weird. It's a weird feeling. And to me, I think both of those, maybe from like at least for me, an entertainment standpoint, they've been down compared to maybe some other sports, like of course the NFL. NFL is king here in America. So how do you compete with those types of things? And right now, I think this is huge for the NBA. I feel like Major League Baseball needs something similar. Like last year with Shohei Ohtani, that whole kind of thing, that was pretty big, right? Yeah. But now, like, there really isn't anything going on.
I think Major League Baseball could benefit from changing the arbitration process so that more younger free agents hit the open market instead of having 31, 32, and we saw just the downturn that has occurred over the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, right? Where you hit 31, you're finally a free agent, you get that bite of the apple, and all our analytics say you suck now, so we're not paying you.
Well, and before anybody texted, Juan Soto, that was a big thing.
Sure.
This
You're not saying there hasn't been any trades or any free agents.
It's just like, I don't care.
Right. I think that if
blockbuster stuff going on.
If you were to shrink that arbitration, down, and more players were hitting free agency at 26, 27, then I think you would get more trades because obviously Major League Baseball, there's a lot of teams, Carey, that aren't trying. And 2, you get the young players where you're going to have more teams interested because of their youth. But at 31, 32, first-time free agents, it's just, I think that's part of the process that hurts.
MLB won't do that because that's a benefit to them to have those
Major League Baseball won't do many things that I think would benefit them.
Like between the PA and the baseball, I get you. The owners, there are things that aren't going to happen for baseball. For me, I think this is just kind of one of those things. Like it's one of the biggest stars in the NBA got traded because the team that traded him felt like he wasn't professional enough or didn't handle his business in a way that they deemed was going to allow them to win championships or win a championship this year. And so you moved on from Luka. I don't know if baseball can have that kind of moment in a season, right? In the middle of a season, before the trade deadline, because it's just different in other sports. You don't see huge trades in football where players go from team A to team B, and it's kind of like this. This to me is just a one-off because it's such a dynamic player and such a one of those players that is going to be the face of the NBA here, in the next 2 or 3 years if he's not already.
I think for me, it's like being proactive. Whether or not you agree with what the Mavs are doing, they have the thought process of this superstar player is not good for our organization, and we don't think we can win a championship with him. So we are going to move on, and we are going to bring in somebody else that we think can win a championship for us. And we've seen some teams that are just like, well, we're going to hang on to these guys. We're going to let contracts play out. Then we'll reshuffle our roster. And, like, dude, do you think you have a team that can win? Go put a team together that can win. And the Dodgers are doing that. They're the only team doing that, though. They're like the only team that actually is like, okay, hey, we're gonna go get some guys that we think can win us the World Series.
Them and the Phillies, I feel like, because the Phillies, they weren't active. They weren't as active this offseason. But when you bring in Bryce Harper and Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber, re-sign guys like Nola and Zach Wheeler, I think they've been active as well in that regard. But I think that's part of the issue with Major League Baseball, that when you only have a handful of teams doing that, the offseason becomes a little bland.
And I wonder, I think we see it in the NHL too. Like, don't you agree, Jamie, that there's some teams that are like, hey, we need to move off from this guy, and so we're gonna make a hockey trade that might shock some people. Like with the Colorado, and in Colorado they won with, and it's a different situation. But even the NHL had like a blockbuster trade that sent everyone into a frenzy.
They're rare in the NHL these days. They're rare because of the finances. If you have a player that's making $8, $9, $10 million, odds are you're not looking to trade that player. And if you do want to trade him, most teams can't take on $8, $9, $10 million. This was a unique situation. The Hurricanes had some cap space. Natchez was making pretty good money too. They managed to bring in a third party, which was the Chicago Blackhawks, that were able to eat some of the salary too. So you have to get very creative in the NHL to make a blockbuster trade.
Yeah.
This, in the NBA too, they had to get creative. They had to bring in the Utah Jazz.
Who apparently didn't even know.
Had no clue. Didn't know until the very end.
What the hell? Clue.
Yeah. Danny Ainge is like, hey man, I've been around a long time. Can somebody tell me something here?
Yeah.
But yeah, the sports
You didn't ask?
The sports with salary caps are much more difficult to make moves, which is why you'd think you'd see more in baseball, because if a team wants to load up, like your Dodgers, Carey, they can just go, acquire. Who cares?
And they have.
And they have. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They're just buying championships.
Yes, they
Whatever
are.
it takes. They're less valuable that way, but that's fine.
No, ring's still the same.
No, really isn't.
And I know that the Major League Baseball, they're not going to be the NBA. The NBA, for whatever reason, to me, it almost seems fake because like they just like there's more entertainment in the things that happen off the court than actually happen on the court. That's just my opinion. Like there's more drama surrounding everything that happens off the court. Is this guy going to play? Where's this guy want to go? Jimmy Butler only wants to go to Phoenix. He only wants to go to Phoenix. He'll go nowhere else.
Who's saying that way?
I mean, people.
Is that Jimmy? Is that Jimmy Butler?
It's a really bad Brian Windhorst. Like,
all right. I was wondering because I know you had somebody in mind.
Yeah, I can't really do it.
Okay.
But it's just like stuff like that. It's like that's the NBA to me. It's like the WWE storylines.
Yeah.
And then we go and watch the guys wrestle, and then we go watch them play basketball.
Sure.
But like it's everything that happens outside of the actual game that is the entertainment, in my opinion.
Instead of on the court.
But Major League Baseball, to me, does not have that.
Sure. That's Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. We have our Sports Six-Pack next. 314-399-9646 at the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you got a question for us, send it there, please, and we'll answer next. Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane. I'll tell you a story about a situation that happened in our household and how Mosby Building Arts saved the day. So we had different people come out to take a look at an issue that we had with a pair of doors that led out to our patio. And we were getting water in the basement because of those doors. And I thought maybe if I can caulk around the door, I can caulk around the steps outside, I'll fix the issue. Then I was trying to fix the problem in the basement, and the leak still came. I slowed it down a little bit, but other than that, it still was an issue. Mosby was the only company, and we got different bids because we're trying to be good consumers, get different prices and things like that. Mosby was the only one that came out and said, look, here's here's the actual problem. And Rich from Mosby Building Arts and all of the people down there are fantastic, know what they're doing. But he's like, this is the issue. You got the stairs problem. There's probably a hole back there, and the doors weren't installed properly, and he knew everything about it. Then when Mosby Building Arts came out and they redid the doors, they took the utmost care in making sure that the doors were on time, the steps were taken out properly, they didn't leave the house a mess. They were incredible. So you call for yourself, see the difference with Mosby Building Arts, whether you're doing a kitchen remodel or a bath remodel, or you just got a kind of a smaller project like we did. Call Mosby Building Arts. They are the right remodeler. They have honest pricing, high quality work. The designers have great taste. They know what they're doing. Construction team, outstanding. 314-909-1800, or you visit callmosby.com to schedule your free consultation today and see the difference for yourself. It's Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues fall to the Edmonton Oilers last night in overtime by a final score of 3-2. They'll take on the Florida Panthers tomorrow night, and you can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do our Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by
Saliga.
Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, time for our Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh.
Question number 1.
First one comes from Grant Francis Fan Club. Why has the Blues retool from a result standpoint stalled out compared to last year, despite big roster upgrades? Why should or shouldn't fans be concerned?
It really hasn't stalled. Your team this year is better than it was last year. The problem is that the whole conference also got better. Like Winnipeg was meh last year. Colorado was fine. Calgary was not good. Like, you've got more teams this year that are good. And that's showing in the standings as well. And so I think the team is in a much better place now. I mean, you'd be a fool to think that it was in a better spot last year with what you had on the roster. Look at the decor last year. Look at the decor this year. Look at your young forwards last year, minimal amount, and look at your young forwards this year. Now, Robert Thomas had a better season last year. Pavel Buchnevich had a better season last year. Again, I'm not trying to just put all of this on them, but they are, if you have the pie chart of where your offense should come from, they're the biggest slice of the pie, those two guys.
Yeah.
As far as expectations.
Right.
But they're not the biggest slice of the pie this year for production. So all of those things combined have you where you're at right now. I think the team's in good shape. I think you're going to see Dvorsky before the end of the season. I think you'll see Snuggerud right at the end of the season, depending on whenever Minnesota gets knocked out. If they win the whole thing, he'd qualify for the last game of the season. I think you'll see him in that game. So you're going to get a good glimpse about like what the future looks like. Otto Stenberg's playing very well at Springfield right now. You have a lot of things headed in the right direction, whereas last year, like, I don't even know what we are. I don't know who we are. We didn't have Holloway. We didn't have Broberg. To me, there was way more question marks last year.
I have a question.
I have a question.
No. You don't have to use it.
Well,
you can.
might as well. We have a hard time getting through these sometimes.
No, we had a lot of good questions.
Okay, you don't want to waste it on this. Can I ask my question real quick?
Absolutely, Carey.
Do you feel that
I think Carey's question is going to be good. What did you mean by that?
He kind of that. You know what? That was kind of a crab sandwich. We have a lot of good questions.
Your question's not
worthy of the number 2.
Hey, you know what? You're right. Here we go. This is for
Question number 2.
for Carey. We'll take away one of the listeners' questions.
I think you listened to it wrong. He was being positive.
Says Mr. Stalter over
Peter
there.
Positive over here.
Do you feel like Blues fans are becoming impatient? Like we just started this retool, rebuild, whatever.
You're right. So
it's this youth movement. Like it's not even a full season yet.
So let's go back, okay? 2 years ago at the trade deadline is when Doug Armstrong moved off from Tarasenko, Riley, Barbashev, Mikkola, all those guys. And that's when the retool was kind of not officially branded,
but
that's the official.
In yet.
But correct. Yeah, you went and picked up Kapanen
and Jakub Vrana.
Like so,
you were.
So the retool kind of started at the trade deadline, then really took shape in the offseason. And but even then, you still brought in guys like Kevin Hayes, and you tried to kind of run it back a little bit here.
Yeah,
it didn't work. So I feel like this past offseason was the first offseason where the Blues leaned into the retool.
That's what I feel.
Holloway, Broberg, Bolduc obviously coming back up, but Texier, Joseph, whether they've worked out or not yet, you were looking for younger, faster hockey players.
Right.
And you check those boxes. Now, the outcome or the results have not been what you wanted yet, but I do feel like the team is headed in a much better direction than just spinning your tires with the Matt Carpenters of the world, like the Kevin Hayes, bringing those guys. Never mind that. And people say, well, you brought in Suter. Yeah, and he's playing pretty freaking good, too. He's not just a guy you brought in for the, craps and giggles here. You brought him in because you thought he could play, and he's proven that he can play.
By the way, Kevin Hayes and Brandon Saad scored a goal last night.
Oh, wow.
The Saad father's going to tear it up in Vegas.
You said that.
He is.
And Carey asked it.
He's a perfect player for them to bring
an accent
on.
Piece.
100%.
He's not a what do they call that? The lead actor?
Yeah.
No, he's a co-star.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Sure.
Question number 3.
I thought it was a good question, Carey, by the way. I thought it was worthy.
Nice
Hey,
job.
thank you.
Nice
Appreciate
job.
It was a great question, Carey.
I don't think you believe that.
No, I do. I believe it was a great
That's
question.
Mercy when he's mad.
You just took away one of the listeners' questions.
No, they
You
probably
just keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind.
We can do 7.
We can.
If we can't even do 6.
It's the 6-pack.
Yeah, but we do 4
6
sometimes.
is the number.
10 is the number. 10.
All right, let's get to this.
All right.
10.
I think we should break. No, I'm
just
kidding.
combine quotes.
All right, this one's from the Water Boy. If you had the opportunity to go visit the Cardinals at spring training this year, what would you ask the players and coaches as they arrived? What is that burning?
Mark McGuire?
What is that burning question?
Where's Jim Edmonds?
Why isn't Ozzy here? Where's the Hall of Famers?
Sorry, go ahead, Marcy.
What is the burning question? And those could all 10 of those questions could be one of your questions that you would like them to answer as they approach the new season.
Do you know what Gersh does?
Did you and do you now?
Question for these guys. I don't know. I actually like the Cardinals players.
Do you feel like, off the record, do you feel like you're getting do you feel like you get the support from the organization that you need to develop
That's a
your
good question.
skills?
Like I would talk to Contreras, I would talk to Sonny Gray, I'd talk to whoever an outsider is that came from other organizations. And I'd say, off the record, how far behind are the Cardinals compared to other teams when it comes to developing, pitching lab, all the stuff? And see what they say.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I agree.
I would, and then I'll probably ask the younger players the same question. Do you feel like you're getting the things that are allowing you, or that are going to help you succeed at this level?
Are you getting
when you
a clear
talk to some of your
message?
other friends around the league that are younger? Are the conversations the same? Are they different? Are you talking to them like, what? They do that, huh? What?
Yeah.
We didn't get any of that.
Right.
I would ask the same question, like in a similar manner, but I would ask it to Ali Marmol. Are you getting the right players? Are you getting the right resources?
Do you have the anonymity that you want?
Exactly. For you to be the most successful that you can be as a young manager in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. These are all good questions.
Why are we not going to spring training?
Weren't invited.
We'll never get
Flat
those
out.
answers.
John for the snake pit goes, Anthony, you can't even get your heart rate up in 6 minutes. 7's the number.
That's amazing, by the way.
Oh boy.
Amazing.
All right, let's carry over our sports 6-pack. Marsh, great question, Tolly. I think we got it covered there with the players and the manager as well. We'll continue our sports 6-pack next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, fellas, it's Carey, and if you are in need of a little bit of extra benefit in the bedroom, well, Blue Chew can help. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and it will ship to your door directly in a discreet package. And to go online, it's easy. You need to just take a few minutes to get it done. You go to BlueChew.com. You consult with a licensed medical provider. Get your first month free. Again, free. It's a great offer, and you'll be ready to chew it and do it. Your partner, well, they want you to do whatever it takes to have a better sex life. Blue Chew is your secret weapon in the bedroom or wherever you decide to get it on. Pro athletes, we train to perform better on the field, but if you could improve your performance in the bedroom, no training required. That's right. Blue Chew is what I'm talking about. Get it, chew it, and do it. If you're getting ready for work, you have a coffee. You're out with the in-laws, you might have something a little stronger. But when it's time to get hot and heavy in the bedroom, well, Blue Chew is the only thing you need. BlueChew.com. Get to it today. Chew it and do it.
question?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
Let's continue our Sports Six Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Here is Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 4.
From the 314, why is there an AL and NL MVP in baseball when there is one overall league MVP for the NFL, NHL, and NBA? Baseball has the same rules across the board now, DH for pitchers, etc., for both American League and National League.
Very good question.
Yeah, I don't know if we have an answer. That's a really good
I missed the
thought.
first part of it. What?
Why does Major League Baseball have two separate
AL MVP.
Yeah, AL MVP, and NL MVP when, football has one, NBA has one.
Maybe they never changed it after they made everyone have a DH.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that was part of it.
Yeah, it would be tough to change that
Yeah,
at
because
that point.
you can make the argument that, like, the AFC is much tougher to play in than the NFC. And so you should have an AFC MVP and NFC MVP, but you don't.
Right.
The NHL has the Eastern Conference, Western Conference. You can make the argument on any other given year one conference is tougher than the other. So you'd have a Western Conference MVP and an Eastern, but you don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just forgot, or they just were like, who cares?
They do their own thing.
Major League Baseball.
If I'm the players, though, I like it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because there's one extra player each year now that gets to call himself an MVP.
Absolutely.
And go to the bargaining table.
Right.
With that.
Carey, would you
I was thinking the
rather
same
have
thing.
the World Series ring then, considering there's more MVPs in Major League Baseball?
Would I rather be and say it one more time?
Would you rather be one of the MVPs during a given year or a World Series champion?
Give me an MVP. Jamie, ask Jamie.
Okay.
You weren't here
So
that
he
day.
wasn't here.
You weren't here that day.
So Cam Newton
Yeah.
went on a podcast, one of the podcasts.
It was
and
First Take.
First Take, excuse me. Thank you. So it was on ESPN's First Take and was asked, would he give up his MVP award to win that Super Bowl that year? And he said no. He'd rather have the MVP.
So he said he'd rather be an MVP than a champion.
Yeah, because
He's already an MVP.
It's one of one.
I know. I'm just making the
Make sure you're clear on that.
So an MVP award, one of one, compared to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
One of many.
Did he give a reason?
that was essentially his reason. He right, Carey? He was.
There are less MVPs than there are Super Bowl champions.
Yeah. Okay.
So
he was the most dominant player in that regular season for an entire season.
I don't understand the thought, quite honestly. I mean, one could make the argument that because you're an MVP, your paycheck is bigger and whatnot. But I could counter that too, because I know a lot of guys who not only got big paychecks, but extended their careers simply because they were champions, and people kept trading or signing for a champion to be on their team. And you could also make the argument that he's thinking, well, endorsement deals, MVP. I see a lot of guys that get a lot of really nice endorsements by being a champion as well, too. Now, he's the quarterback position, so it's unique. I'm not going to compare Cam Newton to the, left tackle who's a Super Bowl champion.
Or the fullback.
Absolutely, Carey. Yeah.
My point is that quarterback position is way more visible or more popular, sexy, right? Mm-hmm. So if Cam Newton was not an MVP, but Cam Newton was a Super Bowl champion, I still think the money's there for Cam Newton because he's proven that he's an elite quarterback able to bring a team to a championship. Mm-hmm. So, yeah,
so let's take
I would rather take the championship ring.
Let's take Cam Newton out of it. Jamie Rivers.
Me?
You were an MVP.
Yeah.
And didn't win a championship, or you win a championship but never were an MVP.
I would rather take the championship because I feel like my career, for me, for my style of play, it benefits my career more long term. Mm-hmm. I think that the MVP people would be like, it's a one-off. What the hell happened to the league that year?
Sounds like a them problem.
That's what a lot of people do. People think that about Cam Newton. Like, I feel like his legacy.
He was a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah,
he's an MVP
for sure.
of the
He won the
league.
national
Number one
championship.
overall pick.
Yeah.
Well, like, do people think that
he
way
fell
of Cam
short
Newton
ultimately.
anymore?
He fell short ultimately.
Or do they think of him as the guy that didn't grab the football in the Super Bowl and lost the Super Bowl?
That's how I choose to view my Cam Newton. But, he was a Panther, so got to factor that in.
You're not a fan of Panthers? Shame on you.
Well, Panthers, yes, sure. A lot smaller of a cat than you think.
Really?
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Very
smaller
sleek.
cat.
Yeah.
Cool-looking cat, man. A little smaller, though. Yeah.
I don't.
Your Tigers, your Lion, of course, much bigger.
Larger. The Tiger, much bigger.
Tiger's the biggest-ass
one.
cat.
But for me, I would always want the championship. And you look at guys in skill positions for the rest of their lives. They're still signing stuff, just like an MVP. They're signing autograph sessions or cards. There's this, there's that. There's like always the potential of more money. So splitting hairs a little bit probably about like, the paychecks are better with an MVP. If you're taking an MVP from a skill position and you're still making him a Super Bowl champion, I think the money's still there. That's my assessment.
Thank you, sir.
Fair enough.
Question number 5.
This one comes from FedEx Colton. On that Parayko play, Thomas threw his hands up in the air and when he dumps it in. Dude, come on. I'm losing some respect for him. I do think he's a great player, but Jamie changed my mind on his attitude as a leader.
No, I can't right now. I can't. Here's what I'll tell you about Robert Thomas that I know to be true. One, he has a perfectionist's mind, and this gets the best of him at times. He wants to be perfect every time he's on the ice. And the waving of the hands, the smashing of the stick, the banging of the boards, all that isn't always a direct reflection as to the way he feels about his teammates. A lot of times it's a direct reflection of the way he feels about himself. However, when looked at in real time, it doesn't look good at all. It comes across poorly. Mm-hmm. And this is something Robert's going to have to work on because you can't have that, for lack of better words, you can't have that 11, 12-year-old that's upset that they missed a play coming out at the NHL level. And this is where he wears a letter on his chest, too. It's where he's got to start polishing that up a little bit and keep his emotions in check, as frustrated as he might be, even if it's just with himself. That matters. I had somebody tell me a long time ago, first or second year in the league, we have those moments. I had a moment like that. And a veteran player grabbed me and tell me, don't ever let the coaches or your teammates think that you're not good enough to be here. I was like, what? I said, every time you do that, you bring the spotlight to you, and everybody thinks that it's a bad play. Something happened, or you're a bad teammate. Somebody else made a bad play. And if somebody did make a bad play and you're doing that, you should get punched in the face because you're outing him in front of all of your teammates, the other team, everybody in the building, and everybody on TV.
Good call.
I changed. I never did it again, ever. No matter how bad things were, no matter how bad I played or my teammate with a horrible play, never did it. And I was asked in media times after that, what'd you think of your partner getting walked there? I was like, hey, man, listen, that was a great move. The guy's a hell of a player. I know that 9 times out of 10, my partner's got him there. It happens. Done.
Yeah.
Now your partner's like, you know what? I got you.
I got you now.
I got you.
Absolutely.
So for me, being a big person on body language and attitude, I'd like to see that cleaned up.
I don't think he's the only person doing that either.
No, he's not. There's 2 guys we've been talking about a lot recently, and they're both guilty of it. Fact.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. And we've got a returning Gauntlet contestant.
Not a good guy either.
Not a good guy. And we know
Certified
this.
scumbag.
Confirmed after he beat Marsh
And
yesterday.
he's the one that told us that.
Flat out. And then he handled business. So we'll see if Jamie, Carey, me can be. Is Wes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wes is next on 101 ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 404. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers and the officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Wes. Welcome back, Wes. What's up, Wes?
Oh, nothing much. How's it going, guys?
Oh, look at him. He sounds
I don't like the way you sound.
kind of smug right
A little bit. Sounds like Anthony.
Yeah, no.
Very confident.
What?
Thank you, Carey.
That's what he sounds like. Confident.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I don't think that's what you said.
I say sounds like Anthony.
Confident.
Anthony's confident.
All right, Wes. You proved yesterday that you, in fact, are a scumbag.
Yep. No denying it.
Who are you taking today, Carey, Jamie, or me?
Well, one of you lost bet the board for me, and since I'm a bad guy, I want my revenge. So Carey gave it.
Way to go, Carey.
You should have been with me last month.
Whoa!
I cannot be a good guy either. Huh?
Why didn't you try harder for Wes before?
I must have known something.
And that was in your 1.5 bases crap that you were doing.
Maybe. Wow. Nah, that wasn't then because I won then. What month was this, Wes?
This was the first ever bet the board.
There you go.
Carey went sub 500 that month.
Oh, man.
Wes, I would want revenge, too.
I don't blame you, Wes.
In fact, good luck, Wes.
Good luck, Wes.
All right, before he heads out, though. Carey Davis. Now we'll head out.
Jamie's here, so there's no delay. Good job.
I know. When I'm on the road, I actually try to clap faster to see if I can time it properly.
Team it up.
Yeah,
Time it up, I mean.
Doesn't work, though.
All right, Wes, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin the wheel.
Marshy, spin that wheel.
All right, you told us yesterday you wanted baseball.
Probably wants the same today,
You
right,
want-
Wes?
Wait, baseball again today?
Yep. Let's go for that.
Is he getting baseball?
Old scumbag Wes
He
gets
did,
baseball.
but guess what?
We don't have baseball
We
questions.
don't have baseball questions.
Oh, that's
in
right.
here.
Everybody's out sick.
Maybe that's a little karma.
All right, so Wes.
Wes, you get to choose then.
Oh, well, I was going to say he can choose, or we can take baseball off the wheel and spin the wheel. So, Wes, it's up to you.
Well, since it's Carey, let's go with hockey.
All right. Hockey it is.
All right.
4 hockey questions, all worth 2 points. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. And
All
Marsh's
right.
getting us the launch codes right now. Thank you, sir.
Right.
All right. Wes, you ready?
Yep. Bring it on.
Question 1. Which Florida Panther currently leads the NHL with 5 shorthanded goals on the season?
I would go Barkov. Final?
Is it your final?
I'm sorry?
Final answer?
He did. He said Barkov.
Yep.
He said final. Anthony, I don't want a loophole here, you know?
He said final, and then you asked him again.
He has to say final answer. It's in the bylaws. I've got him right here.
You're right. My fault.
Fine print for a reason.
It's you did it right. I did it wrong. Go ahead.
Maybe should have gone Kachuk.
Well, he said final and final answer, Wes, so too late now.
I said final.
Question 2. As of January 30th, which team has 2 players tied for the league lead in power play goals? Each player has scored 12 power play goals this season. So which team?
I'm going to have to go Edmonton. Final.
Answer?
Yes.
Okay.
You said Edmonton?
Yes.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Name the team that only has suffered 1 regulation loss in the month of January. So they only suffered 1 regulation loss in the month of January.
Give me options.
Options are the Washington Capitals, the Edmonton Oilers, or the Winnipeg Jets.
I should have paid more attention in January. Let's go Washington Capitals. Final answer.
Final question, Wes. In which month did the Blues record 7 wins, the most wins of any month so far this season?
Gotta be December. Final.
All right, let's bring back Carey Davis. Wes, how you feeling?
So.
Okay. Yeah. Boy, we're taking a beating in the snake pit.
For what?
No questions.
It's not our fault. We have people who are designated. If we start writing questions, then those people start getting angry because we're out of our lane into what their job is.
Very true. Yeah.
So,
Well, and we'd know what the answers are.
that's a good point. We'd know the answers, too. You're right, Andrew.
Carey, how's the Cone of Silence?
That was good. I was listening to a little hand in my pocket.
You had your
in the
what?
hallway.
I got one hand in my pocket.
You know about it.
And the other one.
I do.
From the Canadian?
Yeah.
All right, Carey. You're all smiles right now.
Okay.
Let's see where we are in a couple minutes.
Oh,
The
yeah.
category is hockey.
Oh, let's do that hockey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jamie?
Oh, you better pack a lunch.
Okay.
Question 1. Which Florida Panther currently leads the NHL with 5 shorthanded goals on the season?
Oh, man. Options.
Sam Reinhart, Matthew Tkachuk, Carter Verhaeghe.
Ooh, well, those are the... Well, that's... Let's go Carter Verhaeghe. Final answer.
Question 2. As of January 30th, which team has 2 players tied for the league lead in power play goals? Each player has scored 12 power play goals this season.
Which team has
The 2 players.
the 2 players? Winnipeg Jets. Final answer.
Question number 3. Name the team that only has suffered 1 regulation loss in the month of January.
That's going to be an unnecessary shot, Jamie.
Yep. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Options, please.
Options are the Washington Capitals, the Edmonton Oilers, or the Winnipeg Jets.
I think it would be Jets twice in a row. But maybe the first answer wasn't the Jets, and it could be the Jets here. Give me the Oilers. Final answer.
All right, final question, Carey. In which month did the Blues record 7 wins, the most wins of any month so far this season?
What month are we in? February. Okay. Well, it had to be not December. I feel like January makes the most sense, but you know what? January. Read the question. I didn't say final answer. Read the question one more time, please.
You usually say automatic, too.
Yeah, I have to go through this again. Sorry.
In which month did the Blues record 7 wins, the most wins of any month so far this season?
Okay, I know they were 6-4 at one point. January. I think that. I might have missed that one. Yep, final answer. January, Jamie.
Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
let's go over these. Round 2 for Wes. He's going for revenge after Carey flat out did him wrong in the first ever Bet the Board. Which Florida Panther currently leads the NHL with 5 shorthanded goals this season? Wes, you said Barkov. We know that he's not an option because
Good answer, though.
Carey opted for the options. Carey said Carter Verhaeghe. Correct answer is
Sam Reinhart.
0-0. As of January 30th, which team has 2 players tied for the league lead in power play goals? Each player has scored 12 power play goals this season. Wes, without the options, said the Oilers. Carey, without the options, said the Winnipeg Jets. Correct answer is...
It is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning. Score check.
0-0.
Thank you.
Yeah, that sucks.
Name the team that only has suffered one regulation loss in the month of January. Carey, with the options, said the Edmonton Oilers. Wes, with the options, said the Washington Capitals. Correct answer is...
Your Washington Capitals.
Wes has a point now. Comes down to
On
this.
the board.
Wes up 1-0.
Is it?
In which month did the Blues record 7 wins, the most wins of any month so far this season? Without the options, Carey went with the month of January. Without the options, Wes said it's got to be December. If it's December, Wes wins 3-0.
Here he goes. You got a coach fired in December. I go, no, that was November.
Yeah, it was.
If it was January, Carey wins 2-1. Your other choice was November. I'll just say right now it's not November.
Yeah, knew that.
Wes.
You have chosen wisely.
Man.
Wes's destruction of the fast lane continues with a 3-0 victory today
3-0.
over Carey Davis.
Not a one, huh?
Nope.
Not a one.
A one.
Wes, congratulations, man. You'll advance to take on. Well, Jamie's off tomorrow, right? Are you doing the show tomorrow?
I had the game, so I'll be here till 4.
Okay.
So it's you, Anthony. You're now in the line of sight.
I'm back on Friday, though.
Okay, so Wes, you're going to get me tomorrow. If you get past me tomorrow, Jamie is lined up on Friday. You good with that?
I'm good. Bring it on.
Okay. All right, Wes, get a good night's sleep, man. Your revenge tour continues tomorrow.
All right.
I don't know what I did to you, but I'm sure you'll Michael Jordan something overnight.
Personally.
Yeah, hoodie you're wearing.
Hoodie, yep. All right. See you, Wes.
Good job, Wes. Wes is the one that texted in earlier.
Probably. Yeah.
That Oakley sweater on.
Yeah.
He's that Diamondback.
Somebody called me a Diamondback. For real, they used the real word because I was wearing an Oakley hoodie. Like, all right. This was from my dad.
I think it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
I like
hoodies. It's fine.
I like hoodies.
I do.
Who doesn't?
I'm a hoodie guy, you know?
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right, Carey. Put your ass in the penalty box.
Or the chair.
Well,
there's no chair.
There's no chair
We
back
should put
there.
one over there. And
I got
and
one. I'll take it.
name it.
Yeah. All right. Blues were missing something last night that the Oilers had. Pretty obvious. That's next on 101 ESPN.
A lot of exciting stuff going on with Circa Sports. Of course, they've got the wonderful casino in Las Vegas. It really is amazing. We had Derek Stevens on the show yesterday, and he was talking about just his vision for the whole casino and wanting to create the world's largest sports book. He did that. Now, that is right in the palm of your hand. Download Circa Sports Illinois, the app. Get on there. Right now, the big game's on Sunday. There's so many different possibilities. You know, Derek was talking about their Super Bowl squares that they're selling, where you don't just get a number that's given to you. You can pick the numbers that you want for your Super Bowl squares. Now, there are different odds for different numbers, but it's a lot of fun. I would get involved with that right away. There's going to be lots of great props. He talked about Travis Kelce. Probably the house would be leaning to the under on that, so maybe that's something to pay attention to when somebody like Derek is telling you these things. It's super easy to find on the website or any app store. It's got great lines on their futures bets. They've got tight money line splits all the time, and they just simply have the best odds overall. From any other app that's out there, Circus Sports Illinois has the best odds, and you're just going to love using it. It's super easy to use. So please don't miss out on any of the action. Make sure you download and you too can bet like a pro with your Circus Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
That's a high-end play, you know. I don't like the fact that we turned over the puck. We had possession and we shot it in. That gives them the opportunity to make that rush. There's historically, when those two are on the ice, their 3-on-3 record's incredible.
So that was head coach Jim Montgomery last night following the loss to the Oilers. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marshall, Anthony Stalter. Carey Davis live from the penalty box.
Hey, how's it going?
You got us, Carey?
Yeah, barely.
Okay.
Well, I can hear you fine.
Good.
It's the hearing myself part that is awkward.
Well, we can hear you, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Nah, I mean, sure.
Carey, you're doing great, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So last night, Edmonton's last two goals. One was by Leon Draisaitl. The other one was set up by Connor McDavid.
And the first one was scored by Connor McDavid.
Yeah. Not bad players.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, I think they're going to do okay.
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Crazy thought. When you're a team that is built with a couple of high-end players like those two guys, you have an advantage no matter who you're playing. Do you need two of those guys, though? Because those guys they haven't won, but they did get to Game 7 last year in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they got to the Stanley Cup Game 7, lost by a goal, while having really no fourth line or
defense, which to speak of.
They've got two guys, Ekholm and Bouchard, just pretty much their defensive core.
Your thoughts on the Blues getting guys like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl?
Yeah, well, you got to suck for a really long time to get those players. And Edmonton did that for like almost a decade. They were getting first overall picks. They picked a doozy and Nail Yakupov. I mean, that one paid off, which that's just a reminder for certain fans that think, go get the high draft pick. Really?
Yeah.
How's he working out?
Not well.
Not at all. And so they did end up with Draisaitl and McDavid. Those guys are franchise changers. Mm-hmm. It just is.
Yeah.
You knew last night with the goalie pulled that the Blues were going to have to be almost perfect defensively to keep that from being a tie game. And then when you get into the overtime, 3-on-3, you're in one.
Right.
At that point, you just are. It's a tough matchup against those two guys, and whoever else they put out there doesn't matter really. Put one of us out there, just be fine.
No, you'd be fine.
I just stay back. Just stay back in case there's problems. So you guys go get your goal. I'll be back here. But yeah, so the Blues, it goes back to our conversation yesterday a little bit, is the roster construction of this team. Now, it's no fault of anybody's that you don't have a Connor McDavid and a Leon Draisaitl. Those guys are, they're players that will define this era of hockey. Nathan McKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, Kucherov, McDavid, Austin Matthews, those are names that are going to be synonymous with this era of hockey.
Right.
So those guys are not easy to get. But if we advance the conversation a little bit more, you need somebody, one or two guys that are not automatics, but you put them on the ice and you're like, we got a chance here. And I just don't think the Blues have that right now. Like when we pull the goalie and we're going for that empty net or that extra attacker, sometimes it looks good and other times it doesn't look good. Mm-hmm. But who's your go-to? Who's the guy that you have to have the puck on his stick? You'd automatically like to think, well, Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou, Pavel Buchnevich. But it's not the same. They're not an automatic threat. And then when you go to 3-on-3, your captain, Braden Shen, has been the most dangerous guy in overtime. And no disrespect to him, but Shenner's not in the category of the McDavid and Draisaitl and players like that. I mean, that's not a shock to anybody. But it is nice to have the luxury of putting two players out there that you know could go off at any moment. And the Blues just haven't had that. I can't even remember the last time they had that. People will go back and say, Tarasenko. Okay, great. But Tarasenko still never exceeded 80 points in a season. Mm-hmm. If he did, it was like maybe 81 or 82. But he wasn't 110, 120. So you haven't had that guy since Brett Hull. To me, that's the last guy.
Yeah.
Because you got Keith Tkachuk towards the end of his career. Still played great here. Fantastic Blue. Not the same kind of player, though. Power forward. He's not going to be as dynamic as other guys. Sure. Dougie Waite towards the back half of his career. You never had a superstar. The last superstar you had from an offensive standpoint was Brett Hull. One could make the argument that Pavel Demitra was a very big star as well, but not like Brett Hull, not like Connor McDavid, not like these guys here. So the key now, or the goal, is to go find a player like that in some capacity. They're not easy to find unless you have a great draft year and the luck follows you. So it's not easy. But you could see last night, and you could see in Colorado with the Avalanche, like when McKinnon and Makar got going, it was like, oh boy, we're in a rinse cycle here. This is not good. McDavid and Draisaitl get going. Yeah. This is not good. When you get the Leafs going with Matthews and Marner and those guys, Nylander, this is not good. So that's one of the elements right now that the Blues are going to have to try and create somehow. Maybe it's Dvorsky, maybe Snuggerud Dvorsky. Those are the guys that are coming up that playing alongside of Robert Thomas or whatever. All of a sudden it clicks and you've got guys that are almost automatics. But as of right now, the Blues don't have that automatic. In fact, their power play has not been very good either. So you don't even have an automatic with the man advantage type thing. And that's part of the problem.
You're talking about having Hall of Fame players. I'm sorry I scared you.
You forgot he's back there.
He's back there, lurking in the shadows.
Hall of Fame players, perennial all-star players, like high-level players that are able to compete. And we talk about this all the time, like superstars. Guys that, in basketball, you can get the ball to and they're going to go get a bucket. Guy in hockey that you can put the puck on his stick and he's going to score a goal or get the puck to the right person so that they can score a goal. You need to have, I think every team has to have those superstar players, the grunt guys, the guys that are on the back end of the roster fighting to stay on the roster, and then your mid-level, not great but not terrible players. Like, you have to have all three of those, and I think the Blues have a lot of middling guys right now, guys that aren't terrible, but they aren't the superstar level that when it's time to score a goal at the end of the game, or you got an empty net, you've taken your goalie out and you got an extra man, you don't have a guy that can get the puck in the net. You need those guys.
You're right. So using the NBA is actually a really great idea because you have certain guys that you want the ball in their hands.
Yes.
Who do you want the ball to go to with the game on the line? Mm-hmm. And usually that's your top scorer, your Hall of Famer, your perennial All-Star. Call him whatever you want. As of right now, with the goalie pulled, who do you want to have the puck on their stick for the Blues? Who is a guy like your automatic?
I mean, the closest thing is Jordan Kyrou.
That would be that would be my answer.
That would be my answer too. But use that now and categorize Jordan Kyrou or rank him amongst players in the NHL.
Yeah. It's similar to the Cardinals. They've been searching for their next Albert Pujols. Like, all you need is that next Albert Pujols. All right, good luck.
Jamie, what is Dylan Holloway's ceiling? Is it greater than a Jordan Kyrou or Robert Thomas? Like, is his ceiling higher than theirs?
I don't think his ceiling's higher because of what Thomas and Kyrou have been able to do already in their careers. Like Kyrou, what the 1 year, 34 goals or 37 goals or
37,
something?
I think.
37 goals. Like, Holloway hasn't done that yet. Right. So you'd have to think that Jordan Kyrou, like, his ceiling is 40, 45 goals in the season. Like, that's his ceiling. Robert Thomas had, 80-something points. Right? His ceiling should be like 100 points, 105 points. So I don't think Holloway's there yet. Okay. But also, this is like the 6th year for Thomas and Kyrou playing in the NHL. It might even be longer than that now. I have to go back and check. This is Holloway's 2nd year.
Right.
So, call me in a year or two, and I'll let you know if his ceiling is above theirs or not. At the current time, no. But he's showing to be very promising when it comes to creating offense. Yeah. He's certainly a guy that you want on the ice whenever you need a goal.
That's why I was asking, because he seems to me like he could be a guy that you want the puck on his stick in those moments. Like, he's not there yet for this team, but he could be ascending to be that player in the future.
Yeah, and we're going to find out tomorrow night because today at practice, Jim Montgomery had Dylan Holloway playing alongside Robert Thomas and Pavel Buchnevich. Mm-hmm. So if there's magic to be had there, and let's say they do, his ceiling could change. Because if Robert Thomas all of a sudden now finds a guy that he can get the puck to and that guy can score, Holloway going from a 20-goal scorer to a 30-goal scorer is a possibility.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Why don't we do Bet the Board next? Let's do Bet the Board next. Carey and I got some work to do following last night, but Marsh and Jamie had good nights. Bet the Board next on 101 ESPN. Hey, Missouri sports fans, got great news for you. Underdog Fantasy is available to play in our state. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes for the big game. Which players are going to go off on Sunday? Which ones are going to be ice cold? You can make your entries and just a few taps and see if you can become an Underdog Fantasy champion. So it's that easy. You could just go to your favorite league. Maybe it's an NBA game or NHL tonight. Maybe you want to group some different sports. Underdog Fantasy makes that happen for you. You can do an NBA player tonight and an NHL player tonight, and then choose either a Eagle or Chief or both on Sunday and put all your picks in, and all you have to do is go higher or lower on their stats. So, for example, I love the fact that they have fantasy points available that you choose higher or lower on. I like Patrick Mahomes to go higher than 21.45 fantasy points. I love the fact that they've got different touchdown plays as well. So Saquon Barkley higher than a half of touchdowns. You can do your own picks, or you go lower. Maybe you pick up on what was, some of the things that we were talking about yesterday with Travis Kelce and go lower than 61.5 receiving yards. It's up to you. You can build your own picks there at Underdog. It's the best place to play champions. You can sign up, deposit now with my promo code Anthony. That's just my first name, Anthony, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional $50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry. Again, that promo code is Anthony. Must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues fall to the Edmonton Oilers last night in overtime by a final score of 3-2. They will take on the Florida Panthers tomorrow night, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Tonight, you can listen to some college hoops. Texas going up against Arkansas. Pregame starts at 7:45. Tip-off will be at 8. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We'll play Bet the Board next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
right, this is our third day for the February's Bet the Board. And Jamie, Marsh, you guys have taken a 1-point lead over Carey and I, who missed our picks yesterday. But Jamie hit his.
Yes.
And Marsh picked same player. Different plays, but you guys had Leon Draisaitl.
Why'd you guys pick him?
Yeah, why'd you guys pick him?
Hey, we just finished talking about why. He's a go-to guy.
Okay.
So, Marsh, you go first, then Jamie. Then
I have
Carey,
to go
then me.
first. I have to go first, huh?
Well, yeah, because
I'll go first if you
No,
want me
it's
to.
fine. It's fine. I'll go. Give me Leon Draisaitl 4+ shots on goal tonight at plus 125.
They playing the Blues again?
No, they're playing the Blackhawks.
Blackhawks.
Oh, I'm assuming Jamie might be going to the same thing, and just an assumption.
Jamie?
The first thing I had circled was Leon Draisaitl, half a power play point. I was going to take the over.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with Connor McDavid, who has the same odds tonight to score half a point. So he'll get 1 point on the power play. I'm going to take the over, and that's at plus 128. So, yeah, give me that one, please.
Okay. Carey Davis.
I'm going to stick with the association, NBA. Nikola Jokic, 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Over.
He'll have 52 points.
He might.
Carey picked him one day. I think he had he covered that on his own just with the points. He didn't even need the assist to rebounds. Total. Yeah, that was sick. All right, Zusha's Kentucky Wildcats, not great last night for me. I'm going to go with the Mizzou Tigers tonight, plus 9.5 on the road against Tennessee. They are plus 9.5 in Knoxville. Tennessee's got their two big dogs back, but look, Mizzou has been outstanding all season long. Win at Florida. You've got the win over Kansas. You got the win over Mississippi State as a 6.5-point dog in Starkville. Beat Ole Miss as well. I mean, this Mizzou team has been excellent. So give me Mizzou plus the 9.5 at Tennessee. All right, there you go. There's Bet the Board here on 101 ESPN. You can tune in next week as the morning after broadcast from Cardinals spring training all week long. TMA will be live from Roger Dean Stadium with all the latest news and notes from Jupiter, Florida. Don't miss the morning after live from Cardinal spring training all next week right here on 101 ESPN. It's brought to you by CarStar, your auto body repair experts.
Anthony, have you ever had any interest in going to spring training, or maybe you've already gone in your lifetime?
Yeah, I've had some interest in that. No, I haven't actually made the trip to Jupiter.
I've gone
to do the spring training. Yeah,
no,
you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, had a good time. Took my dad down there one year.
Oh, nice.
It's like one of his bucket list wishes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
did you walk the back fields and all that as well?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
You just walked around.
We just walked around,
sure,
aimlessly.
Yeah, good.
Went to a couple games.
That's kind of nice when you could just walk around. Like you just have all the time in the world.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's nice.
Sure would be.
I just can't get into that stuff. Like it's a game that doesn't mean anything.
I don't care about going down to spring training at all.
I don't either.
I'd love to go down to Jupiter and tan and be at the pool and have a few cocktails.
But like if I'm going to Florida, I'd rather go somewhere else.
No desire to go watch
these guys.
Crappy baseball.
This is why TMA is going in the fast lane, isn't it?
Well, it's because we're not going that I don't care.
Nah, you got to show care before you get there.
Oh, wow, look at you.
This guy used to be a rapper in his day.
You care until you get there.
There you go.
Quite frankly.
And then you care a lot.
Yeah, you're excited.
What?
You know?
You very much
I can tell you, these comments you two are making ain't going to get us in Florida no time soon. Not for spring training.
I can't go anywhere.
Well, we've been advocating for fast lane night at the Blues game, and look where that's got us.
Nowhere.
So you know what? Screw it.
They just keep having the Rizzuto show night.
Even though they keep losing in the Pick'em Challenge and in the Home Run Derby and everything else.
Pretty much everything.
Everything.
You're not wrong.
Can't get a night. I guess Jamie is there every home game.
Not last night.
He's that's true. Kicked him out.
Yeah.
Said we don't want you here, Jim Edmonds style.
It's weird. I went to. You're right, Anthony. The security guard told me I wouldn't go in there.
Yeah.
I said, what? The arena? He's like, yeah, not tonight.
You didn't want to be there anyway.
You didn't. You probably not.
Would have been a tough first period to call, that's for sure.
And another shot on goal. Jamie, your thoughts?
I don't even know. Yeah, oof. Tough one.
Yeah. We've got Prove Me Wrong next. So if you want to send in your Prove Me Wrong statements, anything that you want us to argue against and have it up to the judge, Andrew Marsh, you can send it to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Again, Prove Me Wrong is next.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
Well, Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. We step into the honorable Judge Andrew Marsh for Prove Me Wrong. If you got a Prove Me Wrong statement, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So this is when you provide a statement, and one of us in the law firm of Davis, Rivers, and Stalter will need to prove you wrong. And Marsh is judge, jury, and executioner on this. So, yeah. All right, Judge.
Yes.
What's our first case?
From the 636. Philly wins Sunday due to run game and D. Prove the 636 wrong.
You need to have a downfield passing game as well. If you want to go one-dimensional, it's going to be a little tough to beat the Kansas City Chiefs when you're one-dimensional. Let's not forget the Chiefs also have an excellent defense. And if they take away maybe they don't suffocate the run. Maybe Saquon Barkley has a couple of those. But if he doesn't take over the game and it becomes a straight downfield drop-back passing game for Jalen Hurts, can you go Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes and actually win that game? I don't think so. Plus, as we all know, the refs are in the back pocket of the Chiefs are in the back pocket of the refs. Very difficult to win that one. Chiefs are going to win.
You're about to jump in.
Yeah, you were about to jump in. Thank you, Jamie.
What the hell is your problem?
Sorry.
What are you, Cam Newton, all of a sudden?
You realize, it wasn't a regular. This isn't a regular state. This isn't a regular segment.
He forgot.
We're on the same side.
He forgot.
I was going to help you.
No, you weren't.
Anthony, you sold me with the Chiefs are in the back pocket. You know, the pocket of the ref.
I figured.
I was going to help you.
I figured. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was helping.
I was actually just listening for that part.
Sure.
I didn't listen to anything else you said, but just until, I heard the key word, refs, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Huh? My ears perked up. Boom.
Listen,
got it.
sometimes you have to know who the jury is. Sometimes you have to
100%.
play to the judge.
Yeah.
And I have no issue with that if you're gonna win.
Yeah.
So,
Some people are calling them the Kansas City Cheats.
Ooh.
Whoa. That's what I hear.
It is funny, though, because there was a team that had two dynasties that were often cheating. We forget about
Allegedly.
Accused.
Allegedly. There's a report came out and said they didn't.
that. Multiple
That's right.
times.
they like to
apologize.
go right up to the line and over it and then back again.
What? The Chiefs? I agree.
Yeah.
From the 636, prove me wrong. Farting on a first date is just wrong.
No, you're setting the parameters. That's what you're doing there. Like if you're sitting there and you've got to hold on to your fart, I mean, when is the right time at that point? And then you're uncomfortable, you're miserable. I'm sorry, man, but if you're going to have a successful relationship at all on the first date, if you have to let it fly, you let it fly because that's nature. It's going to happen at some point. Why is the first date off limits? Like somebody, I waited a year before I farted in front of my... Really? How much fun was that? And so you were hiding something from me for a year. Is that what you were doing? You were. You were withholding information, which is, how can I trust you at this point? I'd rather have you just lean over, lift the cheek, rip one, and then I know that person there, they're wide open. I can trust what they're going to say now, because if they're going to just rip ass in front of me on date one, they are not going to lie to me about where they were on Friday night.
There you go.
So, yeah, let it fly, baby.
Wow, this is a tough one.
That's a compelling argument.
Because you just brought the heat. You brought the stank with that one, Jamie. And you know
the
what?
hot heat.
I'm feeling good today. I'm going to give it to you.
I like when you give it to me, Marsh. Thank you.
All right.
What did you do? You already hit the bell. It's too late. That's like final answer.
From 314, prove me wrong. Saquon Barkley deserves the MVP. Better stats than Adrian Peterson's MVP year.
Yeah, no, because this is a quarterback award. It's only given to quarterbacks, and they know when they make this award, when they make their decision, the only people that are going to get the award are quarterbacks. And so there should be another award. There should be a quarterback award, but it's not. It's just the MVP. It's the MVP of the year / quarterback, and that's who they're going to give it to. So he's not going to win the MVP, but he can win Offensive Player of the Year because he has had the most outstanding season for an offensive player this year. But the MVP award is solely for the quarterbacks. Everyone knows it. It's been written down, maybe not written down, but everyone knows it. That's what it is.
I thought it was pretty good.
That was good.
The hard part, though, is that you took the ball on this one.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're sitting over there voting Saquon every chance you can.
Yeah, you were quick. I almost just said, listen, I
thought you were going to come in with
was going to.
like a Mahomes or like something like that.
But Carey
jumped in.
Well, you know how he is with the Gauntlet. I mean, final answer. He didn't give us an answer.
It's all right. It was a good try, Carey.
Where are we? From a 618, prove me wrong. The Blues are only interested in putting butts in the seat rather than build a championship.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen all of the moves that Doug Armstrong in the front office has made? Yeah, granted, not all of them have been home runs. I get it. But a team that just doesn't care is a team that, has had no off-season signings at all for their club. Let one of their Hall of Famer type players leave for another organization, wanting to trade another Hall of Famer to another organization. That's a team, to me, that is in that category. The Blues have not been there. Yes, again, Army's made some good choices, some bad choices. It happens. That's the game. But at least he's trying. And then how about 2 offer sheets? Never in the history of the NHL has one team ever 2 offer sheeted and stole 2 players from another organization. He bullied them. He walked in, shoved him in the corner, took his lunch money, and went back to St. Louis with it. That's not an organization that's just happy with putting butts in the seats. Here, Jim Montgomery, every night he's talking about playing for Blues fans, blue-collar hockey, Blues fans. They know what this is all about. Screw that. Just sitting there for butts in the seats. No, come on.
Wow. Love it. Love the passion, too.
Well said, Jamie.
Love the passion.
I thought you had a little bit more passion on the fart one, but that one was good.
Equally, both questions are very important.
Yeah, well,
you answered them.
Stood up and did your job.
More leaned into it, more like.
Yeah. You leaned to the side.
Yep.
From the 314, prove me wrong. A salary cap in baseball would be a good thing.
Coming from a player's perspective, hell no, we won't go. Why the hell would we want a salary cap? You see how much Juan Soto made? You ever heard of Shohei Ohtani? Money being made around here. No way will a salary cap be good for the baseball players. Would it be good for the teams and for the league? Maybe, but are you going to spend all your money if there's a cap? Are you telling me you have to spend all the money? No. So there's still going to be teams that don't meet that cap. They aren't going to spend money. A floor would be much better than a cap because you're forcing teams to have a base salary that they have to pay to pay their players so that they can all be on an equal playing field. You're telling me a cap? You think the Pittsburgh Pirates give a damn about a cap? No. They barely give a damn about the cap that they wear on Sunday on game days.
They don't even care about their players.
They don't care about a cap, huh? Why would I care about a cap if I'm the Pittsburgh Pirates? Give me a floor. Be much better than a cap in baseball.
That is a tough one. Carey makes some great points. Makes some great points.
That's good, Carey.
What do you think, Anthony?
I think my colleague proved beyond reasonable doubt that he was correct. And that is the only thing we judge on here.
And if I may add just a tad on the end of this, is that right now with the current model that's in place, teams like Pittsburgh and all the low-end teams, they just get compensated every year because of the revenue sharing. So they don't even have to try. If you put a floor in and took away revenue sharing, now all of a sudden, don't even worry about a salary cap. It wouldn't matter at that point because now the bottom feeders, the teams who don't try, who don't care at all, would have to meet the expectations of the floor, especially since there's no revenue sharing. So now they'd be even more compelled to put a winning team on the field, which ultimately would be better for the entire sport.
Well said, Carey.
Nice job.
It's teamwork, boys.
Nice job.
Good job.
Yeah.
That might have been the best one you guys have all done.
That was
You didn't go against each other.
Pretty well.
You didn't ruin the other person's statement.
Yeah.
No, well, thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Saquon was going to try over here.
Did you see it was like multiple times? I got out of the corner of my eye. I saw Carey about to do the rebuttal as if he were the other, lawyer in the courtroom.
He's going to speak on how they could win.
Yeah, but you were going to represent the other side.
No, I was going to say
you can't do that mid-trial.
I was going to prove the statement wrong. They didn't need Saquon in defense. They needed Jalen Hurts to throw the ball for 350 yards, and that's how they win.
Well, but it was the Eagles were going to win.
Yeah.
I needed to prove against that.
No, you just needed to prove that Saquon and defense weren't the reason that they won.
What?
Oh, jeez. I'm really glad that you stepped in front of that. I am. All right. The 2025 MLB projections are out for MLB.com. Where are the Cardinals? We'll tell you next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Projected 2025 standings and playoff odds are here, according to David Adler of MLB.com. You guys want to play the guessing game about where the Cardinals rank?
In what?
For the standings.
What division? In the division or the all of baseball? There's a division?
Well, they play in a division.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering if you mean like their spot in the division, or if we're talking about like within the National League.
4th.
In the division?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it out, Carey.
That's where they are.
Well, what do you guess, anyways?
4.
Okay.
4.
Okay. In the NL Central, if we're going with Pacoda.
Oh, boy. Probably 5th then.
The old Pacoda. The Cardinals are 3rd.
In their division?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I'm used to not agreeing with Pacoda, but usually it's the other way around.
Hey, you want the good news, the bad news? I just gave you the good news, so want the bad news now?
What's the bad news?
What is bad news? How is that bad?
It got to be like dead last. Well,
Pacoda says 78 wins. 78.2
We're not going to get to that 83.
Yeah, you can find a win here or there.
So you're worse overall, I guess. But you're 3rd in the division. So
who's 4th and 5th?
They got Pittsburgh at 75.2 and Cincinnati at 73.6.
Cincinnati had one of the greatest off seasons in the league.
In league history.
No, just this season. No.
Never.
I don't see how Cincinnati finishes dead last in this division.
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where the Cardinals don't finish 4th.
The Cardinals, the Reds didn't get a new manager bump. They don't
Right,
account for that.
I would think that. So the Cubs, by the way, 90.5 wins, according to Pacoda. 80.5 for Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's going to win the division. They're just going to. That's what they do.
They always do.
That's just what they do.
Yeah. All right. Playoff percentage. So the chances that they make the playoffs, what percentage would you give your St. Louis Cardinals?
Out of 100?
Yeah. Yes, out of 100.
11%.
Okay.
Ooh. That's very, I was going to say 30.
I'm
guess
going
that ain't
11.
much.
If they're finishing 3rd in their division, there's no, come on.
But 3rd in the division,
78 wins, Carey.
30%.
Carey's way off. Jamie was closer. 15.6%.
See? You're laughing at me.
15.6%.
How dare you?
The Cubs are the only team that, and they have them win in the division, so this makes sense, but they're the only team that is over 30% in that division. Milwaukee is 27.7% chance to make the playoffs. Cubs are 86.9%.
What are my Dodgers?
For what?
My Dodgers. This guy.
What percentage are they in the playoffs?
This guy.
Do you want to take a stab at that one?
98%.
Okay. Jamie?
The Dodgers to make the playoffs?
Yeah, just to make the playoffs.
I'd say 100%. 99.
Jamie was closer. 99.6% chance the Dodgers make the playoffs.
Come on.
At 104 wins.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Must be nice.
Right?
Yeah. 4.5% chance that they even play in the wild card round. 95.1% chance they make it to the divisional round, which, makes sense. And that doesn't give...
Doesn't give World Series?
No, doesn't give World Series.
It's too premature, they would say.
Oh, no, they do. I'm sorry. They do. Okay, World Series percentage for the Dodgers.
To make it or win it?
To make it.
I'm assuming this is make it.
Okay. I'd say 65%.
I'm gonna say this is to win. So
this is to win.
If you hover over it, it says percentage chance to win World Series.
Okay, thank you,
well,
Marsh.
That changed it then.
Yeah, percentage to win the World Series.
I'd go with 48%.
I've been off all day. I go 62%.
I'm looking right at it.
Once again, Carey way off. Jamie off, but closer than Carey. The chances that the percentages that the Dodgers win the World Series, according to Pacoda, 21.9%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, you may say to yourself, oh, that seems low. Any chance that you can guess the second team to win the World Series?
World Series.
Philadelphia? No.
I'll give you a hint. It's in the National League. The team is in the National League.
Philadelphia.
Yes.
The Phillies.
Hang on here.
Carey says Phillies. Jamie says. Survey says.
No, hang on here. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to make an educated guess here. I'm just throwing things on the wall, Anthony. Jesus.
They're probably in the NL East.
What's your educated guess?
New York Mets.
The Braves.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I didn't, but I don't know.
The Braves have the second highest percentage.
They'll have a lot of guys back from injury
to win the World Series. So I just said the Dodgers are 21.9% to win the World Series. And that, again, that feels low. The Braves
are lower.
What's the percentage that they win the World Series?
12.
They got the second highest
12% for me.
8%. Carey, 8.1%.
Hey, finally got one. Even a blind dog finds a bone, baby.
Hey,
8.1% chance. They have the second highest percentage to win. They're the second highest team, percentage-wise, to win the World Series at 8.1%.
Get your bets in now.
So, highest American League team.
Is it the Yankees?
Any guesses? Carey's going with the Yankees.
I feel like I'm overlooking something here.
This is not hard.
To win the World Series.
To win the World Series?
To win the World Series.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to stay with the Yankees.
Really?
Yeah,
I'll go with the Yankees.
You guys are right.
Yeah.
Yankees, 7.6%. Baltimore, 7.3%. The Texas Rangers, 7.4%.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, how do the Cardinals get to the playoffs in your guys' eyes? We read off the percentages. They're pretty low. How do they get there? Carey, you seemingly have a funny answer.
I don't. I can't say it.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Safe
Can't
place.
say it.
Come on.
Nah.
I know what you're thinking.
Nah. We were talking about a movie the other day.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
A guy was running down the field.
Oh. You mean that documentary where the guy terrorizes
Nope.
Gotham City?
Yeah, not that one.
Oh.
Nah, different one.
Okay.
Running down the field.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But now I'm curious. Although I'd probably want to get it.
Yeah.
It's not Angels in the Outfield.
Nah.
Is it a baseball movie?
Nope. Not a baseball documentary.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You went even darker than what I was talking about. I thought that was
darker than The Dark Knight?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You went way darker. That's terrible.
That is.
Okay, so stuff like that.
Yeah, you're going to have a hell of a season from...
What's the best path?
Jordan Walker is going to have
team
all-star level.
Sorry, Marsh.
What?
I'm just going to apologize to you now. Okay. Something tells me that these guys don't think the Cardinals are going to make the playoffs.
Well, I think the question is how do they do it?
How
they? Like, I know obviously we don't believe that they are, but like, how can they?
Well, Carey gave
Jordan Walker has a all-star level season, as does Mason Wynn. Nolan Arenado is somewhere, and Nolan Gorman is hitting 38 home runs. You know, Lars Nootbaar, the best player in ever, stays healthy for 145 games. And the pitching staff, those guys, damn it, they do outstanding.
I mean, we're not asking for much. That's not a lot of things that have to happen.
No, not at all. By the way, AB in the snake pit, you're right. You're spot on.
What?
Nah.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I don't think it's going to be. If I look at this pitching staff, unless we go the route of like some of those guys get hurt and the young guys come in, I don't think it's going to be through the pitching staff. I think it's what you're talking about, Carey. Like the young guys, this lineup is going to have to be much better than what we all think.
Yeah.
But you don't have a cleanup hitter. You don't have a legit cleanup hitter.
Yeah, Brendan Donovan.
You don't have a legit cleanup hitter.
Played there all last year almost.
And you hated that anytime we did the lineup.
Absolutely hated it. It made no sense at all. Not one other team in Major League Baseball would have Brendan Donovan batting cleanup.
I will say having a stagnant lineup. Let's start there. Having people batting in the same spot every single day with the exception of if somebody's out for a day off or, somebody's nicked up, banged up, having a stagnant lineup. Everybody batting. You're the leadoff hitter. You bat leadoff every day. You're the number 2, 3, 4, wherever you bat. And because I think there's a level of consistency knowing where you're going to be placed at in the lineup every single day, going to the ballpark, not having to worry, am I in the lineup today? Not having to worry, well, I batted 5th yesterday, am I batting 8th today?
Mm-hmm.
Nolan Gorman treatment, Jordan Walker, back of the lineup. Like, just figuring out, giving those guys more at-bats, more opportunities. You don't have any excuses. If you win 70 games, you did that a couple of years ago with stars on your team. So what difference does it make? Like, at this point, let them play and let them figure it out. Let them bump their head. Let them fall down, make all the mistakes that they can make, and figure it out. It's like when you have kids, Jamie. You tell your kid, don't do that. Don't do that. Eventually, they got to run into it and feel, oh, that hurts. Yeah, I told you, dummy. Don't do it. I love you.
Told you, don't touch that.
So let them make their mistakes, figure it out, and hopefully you're a better team. Can that get them a playoff run? Probably not. But there are some factors that could come into play, and you could have some success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm confident now. With what you guys are saying and the Pacoda standings, stuff like that, I'm very confident. Bazooka Tooth 75 says best way for the Cardinals to get to the playoffs will be to buy tickets. Otherwise, they aren't going. Bazooka Tooth 75.
Buy as many tickets as you can.
Yep. Okay, why don't we do some Blues cues next? Any Blues-related questions, send it in to the Air Comfort Service text line. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Blues cues next. You know what's great about having somebody like Stewie ready to go at any point when you need something when it comes to your loan or anything like that, Jamie?
What's that?
You don't have to know what you're doing.
You don't have to know anything.
You don't have to know what you're doing.
It's the best feeling ever.
I don't know anything about loans.
That's why Stewie's perfect for us.
He is. Jamie, you called him right away. You're like, I'm trying to get a house. Help.
I basically said, Stewie, house, help.
And he took over from there.
Took over.
That's
Drove
our
over
guy,
to my
Stewie.
house one night, got a flat tire. I felt terrible. Had him in, tried to give him some food. Stewie didn't care because all he had on the brain was finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Helping the client and finish line.
Yep.
And that's what I want. I want to be able to pick up the phone, call somebody who I trust, first and foremost. With Stewie, his reputation speaks for itself. But then once you get into the process, like, this is not my job. That's not my expertise. I want to trust an expert, and that's why Stewie's the guy. Whatever it is, whether it's debt consolidation, refinancing, purchasing a home, pretty much anything financial, he's going to be able to at least help you head in the right direction, and that's why he's always my first call.
He's a maniac, too. He stays on top of everything.
He is.
Federal Reserve, where that's going, whether or not now's a good time to refi. He'll call you back. He'll tell you flat out, like, no, listen, don't refi now. I'll call you when it's a perfect time. And he does. He follows
through. He has it set up to follow through. A couple of months later, and tells you either yes or no is a good time or not.
You're crazy to go with anybody else but Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. He's our guy. He needs to be your guy, too. Tell him Jamie and Anthony told you to call, too. He loves us because, we love him. And he takes care of you. That phone number, 314-324-4440.
314-324-4440.
Or, Jamie, what can they do if they miss that phone number?
Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Now, it's time for the Fast Lane's Blues Cues.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. If you got any Blues-related questions, Blues Cues now. 314-399-9646 is how you can get a hold of us. It's our Air Comfort Service text line with Carey Davis, former Blues defenseman, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
All right, from the 314, if a team calls about Pavel Buchnevich, what factors would stop the Blues from making a deal?
Well, I guess the return. Like, what is somebody offering you? Obviously, Doug Armstrong in the front office felt strongly enough about Pavel Buchnevich that they extended him with a 6-year deal at the $8 million mark. So whatever you're offering the Blues in that moment better be able to replace what you think Pavel Buchnevich is. Most teams are probably not going to do that because they're requiring a Pavel Buchnevich to add to their repertoire.
Right.
So most teams are probably going to offer young players or a prospect, and depending on who those players are, maybe it makes sense. Like if it was let's just go back in time. Let's say it was Edmonton that called and said, we got Holloway, we got Broberg, we got, like, all of a sudden that looks pretty good to you if you're the Blues, but most teams aren't going to part with such high-end prospects. Only the Oilers, who do things differently, would allow that to walk out the door.
Sure.
I think that's what you'd need to hear from a team.
From the 314, what's the next major steps? What's next? Major steps should the Blues miss the playoffs this year? More trades, see what we have of the young guys next year, go out and sign an above average to elite player? Question mark.
You're going to have quite a bit of cap space. So I think you really take a look at maybe some unrestricted free agents that are out there. Army's not really known for going and grabbing the flashy free agent. I think Torrey Krug is kind of the first one he really sought after Alex Pietrangelo left. So I think you look at that. You also, if you're Doug Armstrong, man, stay hot. Find a team that has some restricted free agents that are young players. Fire up the offer sheets, man. You've broke the seal now, so who cares? There are teams out there that are going to be up against the cap that have good young players that are playing, I don't want to say non-significant roles, but not in the roles that they will project to be, just because it's a contending team that's up against the cap. See if you can't snake a player that way again, but you have to keep the ball moving forward. You can't just stand pat and be like, well, this summer we're going to be like, well, let's hope the young kids are good. There's another team that we know that does that consistently. Doesn't really work. We're just talking about them.
Canadians?
Anyway. No.
Oh.
Nope. Starts with a C, though. You're right.
The Clear Camp Cougars.
No. We do it right.
Yeah, especially with the name. But yeah, so if you're Army, you got to keep moving the ball forward and trying to improve this team every single offseason in any way possible.
Next one comes from Charlie Huddy's Lawn Guy.
Oh.
Who is truly untouchable on this team? And you can only choose 3.
I think, in my opinion, I think Colton Parayko is untouchable. I believe Philip Broberg would be untouchable. And up front, you got to pick somebody, right? I just don't know if there's anybody untouchable up front. I just don't, because I always go back, in my era, like Wayne Gretzky got traded. So if the greatest player to ever play the game is able to be traded, and not just once, twice, if that's the case, then it's pretty hard for me to select 3 guys off a non-playoff team that are untouchable.
Would you put Joe Hofer on there?
No.
Jordan Binnington?
No. Okay. You know why?
Why?
Because of the other guy. So Jordan Binnington is not untouchable because you have Joel Hofer and vice versa. So if one of those guys brings you back a good return, then you make that deal.
From the 314, how was Leon Draisaitl not called for holding/interference on Robert Thomas in overtime last night?
He should have been called. There's no doubt about it. But you know what? That stuff happens. It happens every play almost in the NHL. You could nitpick every play in football. There's some kind of a hold or something that happens that you can. If the letter of the law is being applied, then there should be a penalty. That was missed. It was. I thought it was. I don't want to say egregious, but I thought it was clear enough that it could have been called, and it wasn't. But what do? You sit there and pout about it? No, you still have to go try and win a hockey game. And unfortunately, you didn't. Edmonton did.
Mm-hmm.
From the 314, is the remainder of the season an audition for Leddy to be moved in the offseason so that Kessel or another young defenseman get to play in the top 6 next year?
I think it's an audition for a lot of guys. I do. I think it's an audition for Justin Falk, for Nick Leddy, for Cam Fowler, to be honest. I mean, I think Cam Fowler's played very well, and I'm not dogging on Justin Falk or even Nick Leddy because he's been injured. But you have to constantly be looking to improve your team. And if older, aging players aren't improving your team, then all of them are on notice.
Sure.
Forward and defense. And that's just the bottom line.
Little behind-the-scenes question for us from the 636. Jamie, how do you get those replays so fast during the Blues games? The play just happened, but you immediately replay it and comment.
Yeah, I have to give full credit to the crew. They're unbelievable. We got Bill Nollick, who's our replay guy, Timmy Pabst, who is our executive producer, Phil Malika is our director. And here, I'll give you a little peek behind the scenes. So just like we have the little switchboard here where we can hit the dump button, the talk back, and all that, I have one of those with me at all times. One of them's a cough button, which I use for the broadcast.
It's nice that you use it there.
The other one is a talk back button. And when I hit the talk back button, the producer, the director, and the replay guy, and the stats, the graphics, they all hear me. So as the play's going on, like let's say that Jordan Kyrou has a nice shot on net or makes a good move, I'll be like, grab that one. Grab the hit on the boards. Parayko just got hit. Grab that. Put all 3 together. Here's the sequence. Like I'm producing my own replays alongside the help of Timmy Pabst and whatnot. If he sees something, he'll be like, "Do you want me to grab that? Is that worthy?" You know, like, things like that. Or hey, I've got that Binnington save ready for you. And then all I got to do is say, okay, you know, John, going back to Jordan Binnington, the replay comes up. And when it happens quickly, like right before the whistle goes, that's where Bill is unreal because he's got to grab that. He's got to rile it back and have it ready on cue. So there's a little bit of vamp time there because I got to give Bill a hot minute there, a hot second. But I'll usually say, give me that right now. And they know. Oh, and it's aggressive like that because you're not
got to be quick. Yeah.
Hey, guys, are you in there? No, I'm on the air at the same time. So I'll just say, grab me that rebound or grab me that scoring chance right now. Get me neighbors right now. And then he goes, and it's in your monitor. And then I know it's ready to go. Nice. And I talk about the replay.
Give me that replay.
Pretty much, yeah. It's fast, man. You have to be really quick at what you're doing because the window to talk or describe or anything at all is very small.
Yeah, it's quick. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We'll get the biggest question of the day next.
All right, are you currently sitting at home right now contemplating selling your house, but maybe you have questions or concerns? Let me help you out. Call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria is the best in the business. She's been in the business for over 20 years. And the one thing that Gloria understands about this market in particular is how to price your home to sell it. You don't want to overprice it. You don't want to underprice it because then you lose money. Gloria Liu will help you. She'll walk through the property with you. And then if there's certain upgrades or things you should do to the home to make it more appealing, she'll let you know. And then that's where the magic happens. She's got a database with thousands of ready buyers that are sitting there ready to be directed to your listing. All that traffic hopefully creates multiple offers and maybe maybe even getting above asking price for your home. But you're not going to know any of that until you call Gloria Lou. And when you call Gloria Lou, please tell her that Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues lose in overtime last night to Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers. The final score 3-2. The Blues had an opportunity to win last night. They were up 2-1 late in the third period before Leon Draisaitl tied the game and sent it to overtime. The Blues will have a chance to bounce back and pick up a W against the Florida Panthers tomorrow night. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed any of our conversations regarding North St. Louis Blues or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our full shows there. That's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Tonight we have some college basketball for you right here on 101 ESPN. Texas going up against Arkansas. Pregame starts at 7:45. Tip-off is at 8. Coming up next, we have our biggest question of the day. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
Before we get to the biggest question of the day, just want to let you know that the Blues have recalled Mackenzie McEachern from Springfield. That coming from Doug Armstrong, who announced today that McEachern will join the team again. 30-year-old is dressed in 17 games with the Thunderbirds this season, posted 15.6 goals, 9 assists in 36 penalty minutes. So there you have.
Yeah, be a nice addition. He's a fourth-line type player, fast up and down the wing, gets in on the forecheck. Nothing fancy, but he does get the job done, so we'll see where he slots in.
There you go. All right, with Carey Davis, that's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with the biggest question of the day.
Yeah, this one comes from the 573. I really like this question because I think that the past few years have been annoying, frustrating, and we're to the point now where it just seems like the Cardinals are a joke. We like to giggle because things just haven't been good. From the 573.
It's better to laugh than cry. I think
sure.
It's the kind of the
absolutely
the fast lane approach when it comes to the Cardinals and where they're at right now.
Well, and nobody's safe too. So
absolutely.
From the 573. Outside of winning, how do the Cardinals move out of all the negative headlines? Where would you start? What steps would you take?
If I may. The only thing that matters is winning.
I agree. I know. I agree.
It sounds simple. It sounds shallow. But you are a professional baseball team. People pay their hard-earned money to come show up for entertainment. Losing 7-6 is maybe entertaining. Maybe it was a close game. But it's not the entertainment that you want.
Yeah.
You don't want to show up for a team that is not winning games. And I think the Cardinals have tried other things besides winning.
Right.
We got this day at the ballpark. We're offering this, and you can have this, and we got bobbleheads, and we got Hawaiian shirt night. Who gives a damn? Did you win?
Yeah.
It's a nice shirt. They got a puzzle that got stolen from Marshy. Like people show up for these things, and the collectibles, right? They're nice. But you know what's better? The memory of a win.
Yep.
The memory of an NLCS Game 7, Game 6, a World Series appearance.
I remember the one that I went to.
I remember the one I went to. Mm-hmm. Those are the things. I don't remember what I did with that Hawaiian shirt. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
The Yadier Molina kids jersey night. Beautiful. My son wore that thing pretty much every day. He didn't care if they won or lost. He was 4. You know?
Right.
I cared.
Yeah.
It mattered to me.
Right.
So, yeah, man, winning is really the only recipe for success, for people to show up and to not be negative. Like, when you're losing, you are the butt of the joke. Like, people laugh at you. Like, is it fair? Maybe not. But that's part of it. You are a professional athlete. You are a professional organization that is here with the expectation to win championships. And if you're not doing that or putting the people on the field that are capable of doing that, nobody's going to be interested.
Yeah. Yeah, Carey's absolutely right. Look, they lowered the ticket prices to it. You could get packages where you're paying next to nothing. So it's not like they weren't trying to get people into the ballpark. The reason why people weren't going is that the product wasn't good enough, period. So you can't even get to the ballpark. Even if the ticket sales were low, you're still talking about parking. You're still talking about concessions. You're still talking about spending a day at the ballpark in which you're going to drop a decent dime. Again, even if the tickets are cheap, and if the product isn't worth it, people are going to find other things to do. So winning is the only thing that matters. And it's funny too because fans don't care how you win. You could be a team that went out and stole the offseason and purchased all these free agents. Right, you brought in all these free agents and it's exciting, and you win that way. Great. You could be a team that is chock full of homegrown talent. You don't sign many players, or you just sign a couple, and you win. Great. People will find the attachment to the laundry if you win. And if you don't, people will find something else to do after a while. And I think Cardinals fans hung with this clearly sinking ship for a lot longer than I think a lot of other fans would in other markets. knowing what the history was of the organization, knowing and paying the respect of the history. So
I do think you can get out of the negative headlines, though, without winning in an off season. Like, we see it all the time in the NFL. Like, fan bases it doesn't matter what happened the year before, something in that off season got people excited. They were hopeful again.
How long did it last?
Well, that's the thing.
Because once you get on the field, I was excited about the Giants this offseason.
Well,
the New York Football Giants.
I don't think the Cardinals are in that category, but Washington.
It's bad.
Washington. What good things have happened to them in the last 20 years? Getting Jaden Daniels, that's a start.
But they won.
Right,
right?
exactly.
They
But the season has not played out yet, though.
Yeah.
The season hasn't played out yet. I'm thinking of, for me, a way to get out of the negative headlines is to stop talking. Because everything that they're saying and doing is annoying. And I'm sure other people feel that way too. So stop talking, stop saying all these different things, and let your brand speak for itself. Instead of saying, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and then we're actually not doing this because it looks like something else. We're actually Trojan horsing something.
Right.
Just stop talking.
So, okay, if I may, if I could play the devil for you.
Should be easy.
So it's called, right?
Advocate.
All right, I'll play the devil.
Advocate.
But we also demand answers too, don't we?
We're still questioning. We haven't gotten any answers.
Sure, but we can't have it both ways in that regard, right? Where we're like, hey, you need to tell us what the blank is going on, and then after they do, we say you shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
But, I just think instead of worrying about what the heck's going on with Nolan Arenado, we should be excited that Robert Cerfolio, I believe that's the new hitting coach. The hitting coach. This guy. Oh no, that's not him. No, yeah. Brant
Tricky?
No.
No. Cerfolio is the exec that they brought in from Cleveland.
We should be excited about him. We should be excited about the new hitting coach, the guy that Albert Pujols is hyping up. We should be excited about Brant Brown. Yes, we should be excited about those things instead of talking about all these other things.
Yeah.
We should be excited about these young players, but we can't be because they've been promoting a youth movement that's actually not really a youth movement.
Sure. And doing nothing but talking about trading an older player.
And they keep talking and talking. Just stop. Just let the product speak for itself during the season. That's
one way. That's a step.
Honestly, the Cardinals should have never said a word about trading Nolan Arenado. You can do all your dirty work behind the scenes and emails and all that stuff. Something might leak out because everything you'd be like, right now, Nolan Arenado's a St. Louis Cardinal. Just squash it.
Right.
Because the focus this whole offseason has been Nolan Arenado.
Sure.
We haven't had a chance to hype up anybody, like Mar said. Nobody.
Right.
Because no other storyline matters because your own guy said priorities 1, 2, and 3 are trading Nolan Arenado.
Mm-hmm.
Really? So how are we supposed to focus on this youth movement and be excited when we're talking about getting rid of a player that we thought was a phenomenal player? Now that he's the only thing we want to do is get rid of him.
Right.
I don't get it. Yeah. Don't get it.
All right, we will wrap up the show with what we learned and 3 stars of the day, criticisms and compliments, all next on 101 ESPN. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. That's where you're going to find the Love at First Drive sales event. It's going on right now. So we're talking about new Nissans discounted up to $10,000 off. Sales prices starting under $23,000 on select Nissan models. And with over 700 new and used vehicles all out in one location in Herculaneum, you're bound to find the right car, truck, van, SUV, whatever you're looking for, sports car. They've got new Nissans, different makes, different models. They're all there. You're bound to find that vehicle for you that has the great deal. Plus, they got the 0 down and no payments for 3 months on select used vehicles, or no payments for 6 months. That's right. No payments for 6 months on select new Nissans right now. They got the great low financing rates with terms up to 84 months going on, and financing options for absolutely everyone of any credit type. 2025 Nissan models at Auto Centers Nissan come with a free lifetime warranty and 3 free oil changes. Plus, you get that peace of mind with their 30-day return promise. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan and AutoCentersNissan.com. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or the Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers 101 ESPN mobile app. The podcast is brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. All right, boys, what did we learn today? Marshy, start us off.
I learned that there's just some people out there that, for whatever reason, don't like the brand Oakley.
Yeah, apparently not.
And they definitely don't like Oakley hoodies.
No.
Yeah. You weren't even saying anything.
I literally didn't say anything. Yeah.
This guy or this person wanted you to take it off. Is that what it was?
No, he doesn't. No, he
okay.
You know,
that's why I just wanted to clarify.
Jamie, thank you. That was
I didn't know if
very
there was
kind of you.
a hidden meaning behind you know.
No. Honestly, we don't even know if he doesn't like the brand. He just
doesn't like you.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's more me.
If he knew you, it'd be understandable.
Sure.
However, I don't think
he knows me. Right?
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
Like, am I a Diamondback? Sure, but how does this guy know?
But he doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so he's just going more like, I don't know, looks or something.
Yeah.
But, that's a tough one. Jamie, what'd you learn?
I learned that Anthony Stalter can, in fact, spin anything into a positive note. Sent him a text message today, and he spun it into a positive.
He did spin that.
He did.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Go fast lane yourself, Anthony.
All right.
I will do, yeah.
Have a great day. All right. You know what I learned? I learned that Jamie and Anthony don't trust me. You know, I had great content that I was going to add to your prove me wrong statement. I was going to add to it.
Oh, yeah.
And you both cut me off. You cut me off at the beginning. You said, see, you don't trust me, huh? You think I was going to ruin the case?
The way you looked.
The way you explained it
Your eyes got big, and the way you explained it was terrible. You would have lost us that case.
You would have lost us that case because you wouldn't have told the judge that the Chiefs are in the ref's back pocket. You would have had this whole thing.
Yeah.
All because of
told
what?
You the Eagles would have won.
Yeah, exactly.
By not
that's
running
all you cared
and playing
about.
great defense.
That would have ruined it, Carey.
That's all you cared about, Carey.
I answered it.
See, we may not trust you, but we care about you, and we don't want to see you fail or ruin it for us, for that matter.
Probably the latter.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, unbelievable. I learned that apparently I'm a Diamondback.
You just learned that?
Yeah.
Today?
He knew.
No, I knew.
Okay.
But from that person, I learned.
Yeah. True. Well, what did they know?
I'm sure a lot. Hey, don't forget, you can join Brandon Kiley in 101 ESPN this Saturday at St. Louis Wheeling Union Station, which will be transformed into Captain America's Shield. This Saturday from 5 to 7, be the first 50, among the first 50 fans, and you'll receive a complimentary Ferris wheel ride, Fandango movie ticket codes, chance to win prizes, photo ops, and more, and it's all courtesy of the new film, Captain America Brave New World. That's this Saturday from 5 to 7 with BK at the St. Louis Wheel at Union Station with Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World, which arrives only in theaters February 14th. You can find all the details at 101ESPN.com.
Is Winter Soldier in that one?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe he'll make a cameo, you know?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. It's the Falcon is now
Captain America.
Captain America.
Oh,
yeah.
That's weird.
Yep.
All right. All right, I'm excited.
Go ahead, Marcia.
Let's get to our 3 stars of the day before we get out of here. Our third star of the day goes out to positive text messages.
Yes. Or now depends on how you read it.
Very negative text messages that you have to read positive, just so you get that positive feel.
They're sent with
Whatever it takes.
positivity.
Yeah.
I
don't think they're sent with it. You just need to.
that was.
You just need to read it in a positive way. Like Marsh and his text message to me last night.
Anthony, I thought you would
That was
be
a
able to score that goal.
positive text message.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 he gave me on that empty netter.
100%. Second star of the day goes to halftime phone calls.
Halftime
phone calls.
Phone calls at halftime.
Who got a phone call at halftime?
Me? Who? Did I?
No. Yeah.
Halftime?
We'll move on then.
I'm so confused.
Well, you shouldn't be. You brought it up earlier.
I did?
Oh.
You got a phone call?
Documentary?
Documentary.
Yeah.
Halftime phone calls.
I don't know.
I'm legit confused.
We'll move on.
Okay.
All right.
It's unfortunate.
That's good. It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm. First star of the day goes out to the Clear It Camp Cougars.
Now that I know. Yep.
Yeah.
That I know. Yep.
Yeah.
Ladies, registration's open.
Yeah, ladies and men. Yeah, absolutely.
of course.
Really is good, guys.
And gals.
I like how we somehow adopted that. All right, that'll do it for us. We appreciate everybody tuned into the show. Jamie will be with us 2 to 4 tomorrow before he heads downtown for the Blues and Panthers. And, of course, we've got that game for you right here on 101 ESPN with the pregame starting at 6 o'clock. But Jamie with us from 2 to 4 tomorrow. We have a Blues instant replay show coming up right now. And then eventually we got Texas and Arkansas college basketball tonight. For Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.